people mistake is to think that just bring in young players all the time, but they benefit more when there's experience in beside them. They learn from older players, and that's a big factor in football. And I think that if you just had a team of totally young players, it certainly wouldn't work. But it's good to see that the young prospects that are coming through at Hibs, because they're adding a lot to the team, and also they've got the fans excited as well. I think the fans do like to see younger players coming through in the side.
They've got a cup final to look forward to. They can go top 6 today with a victory, and that's a reasonable incentive, isn't it?
It is. I mean, they're having a good season now, aren't they? I mean, the way it's working out. I mean, top 6 is something to aim for at this stage of the season, but they've got a cup final coming up, and that's what they'll really be looking forward to, their opportunity to win the CIS Cup. But certainly getting in the top 6 will be a big boost for them. And when you think back to a lot of the criticism that Bobby Williamson was getting earlier on this season from Hibs fans, then you must think a few of them will be regretting that now.
From the Hearts' point of view, Scott, we know what a good side they are. The statistic that strikes me is Mark de Vries. He scored only once since the end of October.
Yeah, I think he's got 9 goals in total, but he is always a threat. His size is very difficult for defences. But you know, they're in 3rd place. They're coming to, you know, I think in the last 8 games they've lost 3 times, 3 times against the Old Firm. And I think what the beauty of Hearts is they managed to win against Hibs, against Aberdeen, like on Wednesday there. And I think they've got that kind of grit and determination now to stay in 3rd place. And I think they're going to do that today. They're going to win and they're going to stay there.
All right, thanks, Scott. We'll talk more about the Edinburgh Derby in a moment. But first, let's check out the Old Firm's fortunes from yesterday. Celtic Dundee United coming up, but let's start at Pittodrie. Well, Aberdeen, remarkably, were still looking for their first win over Rangers this century. They'd lost their last 3 matches, but they were able to welcome back our studio guest today to play up front between Lee Hines and David Radzulic in that attack-minded 4-3-3 formation. Rangers haven't conceded a league goal since losing to Celtic on the 3rd of January, but they've also been struggling to score. Top scorer Shota Arveladze, rested on Wednesday, was restored, with Nuno Capucho also recovered from the knock he took against Kilmarnock. Emerson too retained his place, with Mikel Arteta still out with a hamstring problem. Willie Young, the referee, John Barnes, the commentator.
Well, Rangers have lost only 1 of the last 23 games against Aberdeen. And I have to say that in recent times, the Dons have struggled against their Ibrox counterparts. There's Fernando Rickson. Shota Arveladze, stumbling. Heikkinen gets it away to find Kevin McNaughton. Zadrulic. The way off for Sheeran. Far side is Chris Clark. Up against Maurice Ross. Clark doing well. Ross doing a bit of jersey pulling. And that's spotted by the referee. Morrison swings it in. It breaks into the back of the net. And Aberdeen are in front. It's Sander Diamond with 1 minute gone. Indecision in the Rangers defence. The home support celebrates. Scott Booth. And Paul Sheeran. Punched away by Kloss. The header. Wonderful save again from Stefan Kloss to deny Russell Anderson. Rangers have hardly been seen as an attacking force in the first 20 minutes of this match. The strike. Stefan Kloss thought that was going cleanly over. It's Capucho. Morrison. Capucho made the challenge. And he caught the Aberdeen player. Missed kick by Diamond. Arveladze. Shot to Arveladze. He just couldn't find the target. Moore. Ronald de Boer. And now Ross. Rangers queuing up in the middle. Capucho! That was a glorious chance for Nuno Capucho to get the equaliser, and he knows it. De Boer. Illegal challenge from Sander Diamond on Ronald de Boer. There's Capuccio! And plucked off the line by David Priest. De Boer losing out. Chris Clark. Good play from Clark. Prunty, his first chance, only on the park. And his first touch directs it wide of the target. Sheeran, flick on, away by Van Olen, fired in by Lee Hines. And another fine save from Stefan Kloss. Hines, and Prunty. Good play from the Aberdeen player. A terrific run there from Brian Prunty. Rickson. Up against Muirhead. That'll be a free kick. Vanoli. There's a header! And Rangers are level! Frank de Boer. 3 minutes from the end. Frank de Boer on the score sheet for the first time in a Rangers jersey.
We barely deserved it, but I think the spirit of the second half, you know, was the key for us to get something from the game. Plus, Stefan Kloss's fantastic goalkeeping. When it's 1-0, the game is never won. We have known that to our cost in recent games. A lot of teams do, in fact.
I thought my players were tremendous. I thought we started the game, you know, in a tremendous fashion and maintained it for 45. I thought the game probably should have been beyond Rangers at half-time because Stefan Kloss made a couple of tremendous saves. I thought second half, again, we gave as good as we got. We had the opportunities and failed to capitalise. And in the end, the players are really down, and that's a great sign that the fact that they're down with a draw with Rangers, you know.
Rangers surely fortunate to get away with a point. Just 40 minutes later then, Celtic ran out with a chance to stretch their lead at the top of the table to 13 points against Dundee United. A win for Celtic would set up 2 new Scottish records for home matches without defeat. Bobo Baldé returned from the African Nations Cup and a 4-4-2 starting formation which quickly reverted to a back 3. John Hartson, though, still missing with a back injury. The last time Dundee United beat Celtic in Glasgow was Boxing Day 1992. Duncan Ferguson scored the winner that day. Ian McCall's side were without the suspended Chris Innes and Andy McLaren. Stuart Duff returned in Innes's place in what was expected to be a hard-pressed United defence. The referee at Celtic Park yesterday was Ian Fife. Our commentator was Paul Mitchell.
Right-footed in. Dundee United players were shouting for handball. Referee Ian Fife had a good look and allowed play to continue. The ball comes in, chance comes down, Varga! Celtic's best chance so far. Ball came in, it was nodded down, and Varga, looking for the far post, was knocked down to him by Chris Sutton. Just pulled the ball wide though. Here come Dundee United. Bobo Baldé comes across. That's a poor clearance. Billy Dodds goes in there. Robert Douglas comes out with his head. That's going to be returned by Charlie Miller. On to Billy Dodds. Dodds plays it through. Chance here for Tim McIntyre. And Robert Douglas gets himself out of trouble with the save. Well, Robert Douglas, for some reason, didn't choose to hold the ball, came with his head. Billy Dodds with a great ball forward onto McIntyre, and the save was made. A beautiful play by Mark Wilson. And the free kick is awarded. Look at this play from Wilson. Clipped it inside, took the touch, and really there was no free kick there. I think Jackie McNamara rightly aggrieved there, Jackie McNamara. So Barry Robson fires the ball in, the touch! And it's in! And Alan Archibald scores for Dundee United. Ball swung in, Alan Archibald got the touch, got the ball away from Robert Douglas. A second of the season for Alan Archibald. Varga didn't make the header, and Dundee United have the lead after an hour. Here comes Celtic now. They'll try and take it up a notch. Didier Gat looking further and further forward. Played it across. Alan Archibald knocks the ball out of play. Ball comes in. 2-3 players there. And eventually Stan Varga with a header. And Gallagher makes the stop. Well, Alan Thompson's corner came in. A couple of players missed it for United. Varga from point-blank range hit the goalkeeper. Brian Kidd on a spying mission on behalf of England, and Sven-Goran Eriksson looking at that man, Alan Thompson. Pushed in. Varga. Larsson with a header. Great save from the goalkeeper. Varga knocked it in. Henrik Larsson, and the fingertips of Gallagher turned the ball away. Celtic fans, well, they were looking for 23 consecutive wins. They're looking at the first league defeat at the moment. Here comes Sutton. Sutton plays it across. Maloney! Sean Maloney gets Celtic level with just over 9 minutes to go. It was a lovely ball through. Chris Sutton held it up, and Sean Maloney was there to push the ball into the back of the net. Maloney celebrates. Celtic are level. Celtic 1, Dundee United 1. So Celtic looking for the winner. Referee says that's a penalty. Duff takes down Petrov, and referee Ian Fife said that's a penalty kick. So Celtic, who scored with 60 seconds ago, score again. Chris Sutton has turned around from the penalty spot, and Celtic have the lead for the first time in the afternoon. Sutton and to Maloney, the two goal scorers combined. And the challenge came in there from Billy Dodds. Well, he's been booked already. Yellow for a second time means red for Billy Dodds. The challenge from Dodds put Maloney to the ground, and that a second bookable offence, and Billy Dodds is red carded.
A win looked absolutely improbable. I can't say impossible, because these players just they keep producing. When we're not playing well, we find it from somewhere to conjure enough effort and energy to go and get a goal. And then when we got that goal, it was almost as if the shackles had been thrown off, and we go and score again. Just delighted to have won the match.
We missed, I thought, the best chance of the second half. You know, we should have scored it, and I hope to be proved right on TV with a stonewall penalty kick not given in the first half. A stonewall penalty kick.
This was a handball.
A handball, yeah. I mean, it's not as if it's hit the boy. The boy's lifted his hand and punched it away. So we're disappointed at that, and then they get a penalty, and I think Petrov was quite clever.
A day when both halves of the Old Firm had their seriously anxious moments, but there's now a 13-point gap. Celtic can win the title before the split for the last 5 matches. Back to Pittodrie, and it's not often you walk out of a game against Rangers knowing that you should have won it, Scott.
Well, that's right. I mean, yesterday we definitely played the better football, especially in the first half. I think the thing was, yesterday we actually felt going into the game we could win the game, which is in recent times not been the case. But on top of that, you had both, more or less the whole team playing to their potential, which is something that we haven't had for the whole season. So it goes. I think we're going to take a lot of confidence from that. We've played well yesterday, and I think we're going to go on and keep that kind of standard for the rest of the season.
Not so Rangers, Gordon. They were poor.
I think they've given up in the Championship. They really do. I think the players have. Not taking anything away from Aberdeen, who I thought played very well in the first half. That's the worst Rangers performance I've seen since Alec McLeish took over. And at least he fired them up for the second half. They were a lot better and came back in the game, but not good from their point of view.
And turning to Celtic Park, 2 disputed penalties, 1 given, 1 not given. Ian describes this as a stone waller. Did you think it was?
Yeah, it's not that clear from the pictures, even we show them out normal speed. But I've watched this quite a few times, slowed it
We
down.
all
'Cause
have.
I knew I was going to be asked about it. Bobo Baldi leads with his fist over the top of Charlie Miller's head. I don't know why he does that. He continues to come in with his hand up first, and the very fact the ball comes back out towards where the free kicks come from is an indication. And
Maybe should
Petrov
have
went
been.
through here. I think he's feeling for Stuart Duff coming. Stuart Duff makes the challenge he's looking for. He wants him to make that challenge, and he takes advantage of it. That's exactly what he does. That's not as much. I've been critical of Stella and Petrov before, certainly the penalty in Kilmarnock. I accused him of going down far too easily. He does go down too easily. There's a number of players in Scotland. He's one of them that goes down a bit easily, and I think that he's waited for the penalty and he's used that. Clever, as Ian McCall said.
So we reckon both were penalties, but only one was given. Hibs Hearts is our big live match this afternoon. All roads leads to Easter Road in the capital. Last time there was more than a goal between these two at Easter Road, incidentally, was when Hibs won 6-2 back in October 2000. Here's Bobby Williamson with Chick.
Bobby, you're not a man to set targets, I know that, but top six is that a target?
We're focusing on the 3 points today, Chick. That's the most important thing. Hearts are a good bit ahead of us, and we want to try and narrow that gap, so it's imperative we get a result today.
It would do everyone who on the outside looking in a favour if you get yourself in the top six and secure another, probably the last Edinburgh derby at Tynecastle, of course.
It'd be great. That's the aim. We want to be playing in these games every other week if it could be arranged, but that can't be the case. But no, the Celtic, Rangers, the Hearts, these are all the big games for us. None come bigger than the Hearts game, obviously.
You must be very happy, Bobby, as you look at the progress. Given what you come through, you've got a final, CIS final to look forward to, you know, and the kids you brought into the side. It's been a satisfying season in many ways, hasn't it?
We've still got a bit to do. You can't get complacent. We've got a long way to go yet. We've still got that final to take care of. We've still got the Hearts game today to take care of, and hopefully we can get the breaks on the day today and reward our fans with a victory and send them home happy.
But that final is a motivating factor for players competing for a place at Hampden.
It's got to be. That's what they've got to be aiming for. They've got to be keeping themselves fit. They've got to be firing all cylinders on a weekly basis. And if I see the standards dropping at all, then somebody else has to get an opportunity.
Thanks, Bobby.
Cheers, Charles.
Very formal. They're doing well, Hibs, and we can now pick out a couple of key players for you. Firstly, a young man we've always been calling Derek Reardon, but apparently he and his family prefer Riordan. Whatever you call him, he's a good young player, Scott, isn't he?
Yeah, well, Mr. Riordan is kind of one of the top players at the moment for Hibs, and out of the current crop of young players, he's probably, for me, the best of the lot. What I like about him is that he has a bit of arrogance. I mean, a young player taking free kicks, taking it very well. I love that about young players, that they just, you know, they take things on for themselves, and he's very positive, very quick, and he's got a great strike. I think I've seen this 3 or 4 times now where he just takes it on, great first touch, plays the ball across the goal into the back corner. Just textbook stuff.
He's a really good young prospect, isn't he? As is Craig Gordon in the Hearts goal.
Yeah, we're talking about the good young players in the Scottish game just now, and another example of it, Craig Gordon. It's a tremendous season. He's come in at the start of the season. You know, Moylan was obviously favourite for the position. Craig Gordon's got himself in there, and I think week in, week out, he's proven that he deserves his chance. Young for a keeper as well. Most of the keepers get better as they get older, but say right from the very first moment when he came in against Bordeaux, and this is a good save, and people might not think there's anything special, but just how he stands up to Henrik Larsson there. He's not committing himself, and that's why Larsson didn't score. That's another aspect of his game, just tremendous reactions he's got. And I think that, you know, we're saying he's not experienced, but he's getting more experienced with every game, and that's why he's improving all the time.
Craig Levine, we're delighted if Craig Gordon isn't busy enough to be man of the match today, but these are certainly 2 contenders. As always, some excellent prizes for you. If your choice agrees with Sandy Clark, you can have the man of the match's shirt, you can have a family match day out at the SPL club of your choice, or you can have an MP3 player, 09011 110 861, 09011 110 861. That's the number to dial. Now, 3 FA Cup ties taking place this afternoon. Let's bring you up to date. One final score, as we know, from Highbury. Arsenal 2, Chelsea 1. 2 goals from Jose Antonio Reyes after Adrian Mutu had put Chelsea in front. It's half-time at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 0, Colchester United 0. And the Liverpool-Portsmouth match, of course, kicks off at 4:05. So we've heard from Bobby Williamson, confident as he entertains Hearts in this afternoon's derby at Easter Road. Let's hear now from his opposite number, Craig Levine, who's also been talking to Chick Young.
If in a bizarre sort of way, you'd really like Hibs to do well for the rest of the season, given you're in another Edinburgh derby, because it might be the last one at Tynecastle. Top 6 wise, that is.
Yeah, I understand the point that you're making. Yeah, I mean, I love the derby matches, and so do the players, and so do the supporters. Yeah, I think it's good for Edinburgh, both teams in the top 6.
You must be happy as you reflect on what Hearts have achieved this season.
So far so good. I always think we can do better, and we'll be hoping to starting today to finish the season very strongly.
I seem to ask this of you on a weekly basis, but all the things that are going on with the intended move to Murrayfield and all the rest of the politics, does it get to you yet, get to the players yet?
Well, I think if you look at the results, the evidence would suggest no. I think that the lads are still managing to focus on the games, and I'm hopeful that we can keep that going and get right through to the summer, and other stuff can take care of itself.
No Phil Stamp today. He's the kind of guy who relishes these kind of fast, furious derby matches, isn't he?
He'll be a loss. I wouldn't try and kid in you and say we won't miss him, but because he's a special type of player, and his energy, I think, is crucial in these games. But Neil McFarlane comes back in today, and he's been waiting patiently to get an opportunity, and so he gets an opportunity today.
Thanks, Craig. Okay, cheers.
I think this is a very hard one to call. Do you agree, Gordon?
I think it is, yes. I think that Hibs would maybe even start favourites because they're at home and they've been going well and they haven't been losing games. I think that looking at the Hearts side today, I think they've gone for a bit of height in there. I think they're going to try and get some stuff from set pieces. They brought in Kim McKenna. He's a big lad, and I don't think that that Hibs can quite match that aerial prowess that Hearts have today in their team with De Vries, Presley, Webster all there. So I think that's maybe an aspect that Craig Levene's trying to use tactically to gain an advantage.
Well, we're looking for that. First thing Hibs have got to do is avoid scoring own goals, Scott. I know they scored 2 the last time.
Yeah, that's right. That doesn't help in derby games. But I think the strike force of Hibs. It's going to be interesting to see the strike force, the young strike force, against the best part of Hearts' game, which is the defence. They are very strong in defence. So it's going to be an interesting thing to see how the young players play against a very strong defence.
What's your hunch?
I think Hearts are going to sneak it.
Hearts to sneak it, Gordon?
Hibs to sneak it.
Oh, good. All right, I'll go for Hibs as well, just to settle the argument. They're red-blooded affairs, aren't they? Not for the faint-hearted or the easily offended. Don't watch alone. It's Hibs against Hearts. Let's join in the commentary box at Easter Road, Sandy Clark, and firstly, Rob McLean.
Thanks, Diggy. Hibs have a cup final to look forward to, and it's done wonders for the confidence that they've beaten Celtic and Rangers on their way to next month's big day at Hampden. The Easter Road team are unbeaten in their last 4 games. For Hearts fans, it's difficult to give their full and undivided attention to football fear. The seemingly inevitable leaving of Tynecastle is breaking their hearts in more ways than one. And Chris Robinson is very much, at the moment, the centre of attention and a figure of hate for a large chunk of the Hearts following. But if there's anything to take their minds off the stadium switch, if it's going to happen, it's Derby Day. Here's the Hibs team. Scott Brown, having just signed a new contract, which extends his link here till 2007. He's back after suspension for Bobby Williamson. Alan Reid has recovered from injury to make his 4th start of the season. 2 Stevens, Dobby and Whittaker drop out. Those are the 2 changes from the team, which drew 0-0 at Tannadice on Wednesday.
I'm sure it'll be a 4-4-2 for Bob Williamson, and certainly at the start of the game. When you look at that midfield area, Jarko Viss, he'll be the holding one, allowing Reid, Thompson and Riordan to get up front to support the front players. And for Gary Connor today, it's a new strike partner. Scott Brown's up beside him. He's been normally playing midfield in recent weeks, but more than comfortable playing up front. And if it doesn't quite work out there for him, I'm sure Riordan and Brown, it's a possibility of swapping around.
Well, a few questions pre-match to be answered about the Hearts lineup. Alan Maybury has made it. He's recovered from injury. Of course, his SFA suspension incurred last weekend doesn't affect him here. The bad news for Hearts is that Phil Stamp is ruled out of a match which he revels in. No Joe Hamill either. Robert Sloan is on the bench. 3 changes from the team which beat Aberdeen on Wednesday night. Kevin McKenna, Neil McFarlane and Robbie Nielsen are all promoted to the starting lineup here.
I think it's going to be a change of system as well today for Craig Levein. Unusual for him, but he's playing a back 3 today, probably to cope with the pace of the young Hibs strike force. When you look at the middle of the park, Patrick is normal. He'll protect those 3 at the back, with Paul Hartley being the one that gets up front beside DeFace and Winus. Matt DeFace, he will be one that I'm sure is more than capable of causing lots of problems to the Hibs back line, and Dennis Winus will be looking to pick up the bits and pieces round about him.
Third Edinburgh derby of the season, number 1 here, 1-0 Hibs back in August. Number 2 at Tynecastle, 2-0 Hearts, that was in November. Will there be a 4th meeting between these two? Well, that depends on whether Hibs can join Hearts in the top 6 when the league splits in 2. In Edinburgh, there's nothing quite like it. Well, of the Edinburgh derby scorers this season, only Gary O'Connor will want to claim the goal. He was the match winner in August. Of course, the 2 goals in the second derby of the season, both own goals. Gary O'Connor up against Andy Webster, among others, and that Hearts back 3 this afternoon. Craig Levein reckoned Webster's performance in midweek against Aberdeen was his best for the club. The head coach left him out for a spell for his own benefit, and now Webster has stormed back into the top team, and he'll take some shifting. He's part of the Scotland squad, which heads for Wales in midweek. Craig Levein's team have lost twice to Celtic in 2004. They've won their other 4 games against Dundee, Partick Thistle, Aberdeen and Berwick. And Bobby Williamson's Hibs team unbeaten in 4, including the defeat of Rangers, which took Hibs to the CIS final. And a win for Hibs today would put them 5th in the Premier League. The referee is Mike McCarry. He was telling me beforehand his mother doesn't normally watch him in action, but she is today. He's under pressure, and I rather imagine because of that, so are we. The 3rd Edinburgh derby of the season underway. Hearts looking to reopen a 5-point gap between themselves and Dunfermline. Dunfermline's win at Denge yesterday reduced that to 2.
Don't think anyone wants to take the free kick there. But I'm looking forward to this one, Rob. Both teams playing fairly well. Hibs obviously a massive boost again to the CIS Cup final, and Hearts will want to do well in this derby game.
Matt Doumbe's free kick, and Alan Maybury lets it go. We spoke about Phil Stamp's importance to Hearts in this fixture. Well, Alan Maybury as well really does represent what commitment is all about.
Yeah, there's certainly no lacking of that from that young man. He's a decent footballer as well.
Robbie Nielsen's header. And now gets it back from Dennis Winus. Good run from Paul Hartley. Mark de Vries was almost there. Gary Caldwell did so well for Hibs.
That's tremendous defending from Gary Caldwell. That slackness in the Hibs back line, really don't get to the ball at all there. But Caldwell coming in from the right position, as you would expect him to do. Does his job very well.
Well, we could have had a goal inside 70 seconds, a la Pittodrie yesterday. with the corner. Mark de Vries with the downward header. Dennis Wyness couldn't get on the end of it. Through to Daniel Anderson. His long throw intended for Scott Brown. And, well, exceptional reading of the game as ever. You come to expect it from Stephen Pressley.
Good play from Pressley, but good play from the Hibs goalkeeper as well. Picked up the loose ball from the corner kick and set off a Hibs attack with a good early throw. He's in the top of his form at the moment. Seen him play midweek at Tannadice in a marvellous game.
Two good saves then from Charlie Miller and Billy Dodds. Remember Sunday, and of course he was a big hero for Hibs as well, was Daniel Anderson in the CIS semi-final win against Rangers.
Just having a quick look at the Hibs line-up, Rob. I think Bob Williams just trying to fox us a little bit. I think he's playing 4-3-3. Brown's playing midfield. Reid's playing wide on the right-hand side. Reardon wide on the left-hand side with Gary O'Connor through the middle on his own.
Free kick given against Mark de Vries. 10 goals for the season, but only 1 in his last 14 games. And he did score the bulk of his goals early on last season as well, Mark de Vries. 8 in the first 8. Patrick Kisnorbo's pass. It's Paul Hartley. It's just beyond Wyness. It was another opportunity for Hearts to get ahead here. And Paul Hartley very prominent in their early attacks.
It's good play from Paul Hartley, showing marvellous pace to get away from Murdoch. I thought he'd maybe got a bit of shot on target there, but tried to pick out Wyness at the back post. But look at the acres of space down that right-hand side from Hearts' point of view. The Wyness not quite able to get there in time. Hearts have certainly shown a real threat from the midfield area, mainly from that man there, Paul Hartley, in the early part of the game.
He's only scored once for Hearts, Hartley, but he's been getting into that danger area in the first few minutes. Free kick against Doumbé.
That'll be an interesting battle as the game goes on. Doumbé and Mark de Vries.
Kevin McKenna forward for the free kick. Andy Webster as well. In from Patrick Kisnorbo. Murdoch won the header. Scott Brown picks up the pieces. Kevin Thompson out to Alan Reid. Gary Caldwell launches it. Neat touch from Scott Brown, driving through the midfield. Kevin Thompson wins the free kick. He's pacey, he's powerful. He took some stopping there.
It's good play from Hibs. Great little flight. We didn't quite see there from Scott Brown. But Thompson does really well to get beyond McKenna. Good referee from Mike McCurry as well. I think he tried to let that one go. Just left it a second or two to see if Thompson had an advantage.
Thompson, one of 5 Hibs youngsters to extend their contract at Easter Road. And Hibs fans will be glad he has done. He's been a revelation this season. Derek Reardon, just outside the penalty box. He's a threat. Matt Doumbé for Roland Edge. Goal kick. 5 minutes gone. A lively start. You wouldn't expect anything else.
It started well. Good tempo at the game. Both teams, as always, will be very competitive for the whole 90 minutes.
Nielsen's throw. And that's Murdoch, the Northern Ireland international. Hammered over the top by Nielsen. But it was well beyond Mark de Vries, and Gary Caldwell could let it go. Gary Caldwell signed with Hibs for the rest of the season, and he too is part of the Scotland squad, which heads for Cardiff.
He's a good player, Caldwell. Comfortable playing the right-back position where he's playing today, and also very relaxed playing centre-back.
And we saw that as he tucked in and cut out the early danger from Hearts with some top-class defending. It's Nielsen. Murdoch chooses to play it. Didn't feel that Daniel Anderson was going to get there. Nielsen with the throw. He's got the power to throw it long if he wants to. Andy Webster. Coming short, Dennis Wyness. And too much on the pass from Kisnorbo.
I'm looking here, Robbie Nielsen. a good run forward from the right wing-back position. Kisnorbo just too much weight on the pass.
Rowden's flick. Was edge. Nielsen. McFarlane. Dennis Wyness. Still has it, Wyness. He's got a free kick. The challenge from Jarkovic is punished.
I think it's actually the first one he gives it for Roberts. Rolling edge, first of all on it. Watch it there. I think that's the offence. He tried to play advantage again. Although in saying that, when you look at it, I think there's 2 free kicks against him. A good play from Wyness.
Yeah, Dennis Wyness just about to pull the trigger as he was taken out by this.
Paul Hartley's got a really strong shot right foot. Looks like it's going to be goal.
In the 8th minute at Easter Road. Paul Hartley's effort blocked by Scott Brown. Back in from Robbie Nielsen. Onside De Vries. Doumbé had a wild swing at it, missed it. Hibs get it clear.
What a chance that should have been. Poor header from Mark De Vries.
Robbie Nielsen. Spectacularly headed away by Colin Murdoch. Good pace from Neil McFarlane. Did well against Riordan, who is very quick. Nielsen, Wyness, running into Viss again. That's 2 in quick time from Jarkovic, and he is inching ever closer to a yellow card.
Yeah, Mike McCurry's having a word, but this is a chance for Hearts. That's the free kick. So I thought we were going to see the chance. Mark De Vries here had a chance to play the ball into the back post. But Mike McCurry having a word with the Hibs midfield player there. As you see, Rob, 2 in a row. You've got to be careful. And the last thing you want is a caution against you in the early part of a derby game. You've got to be really careful after that.
Presley with the free kick, looking for McKenna. Away by Kevin Thompson. Not a bad clearance either, because it releases Scott Brown. Brown against Webster. Andy Webster got there at the expense of a corner.
It's a good recovery from Andy Webster, but it's a poor starting position when the ball was played forward. It just lost Brown completely, allowing the young Hibs striker to get a start on him.
Scott Brown, like Kevin Thompson, has put pen to a new deal at Easter Road. Colin Murdoch is up for this. Matt Doumbé stays back. In from Riordan. Away by Presley. That's good play from Matt Doumbé. Managed to conceal his plans there from Neil McFarlane, and the Hearts man was committed to that challenge.
It's a silly challenge. Ken McKenna diving in.
Kevin Thompson over the ball. It's Derek Riordan who strikes it. Doumbé to edge. Kevin McKenna had to play it under pressure from Murdoch. It's a great run from Kevin Thompson. And Craig Gordon was backpedaling furiously to try to get there. It was a good bit of play from Thompson.
It's good play from the youngster down the left-hand side. I'm pretty certain this is a cross, but at the last minute, Craig Gordon said to himself, where's this going? Is it catching the top corner? I think the young goalkeeper certainly would have got there if it had been on target. You can see just at the last minute, pulls his hands away.
It was certainly a troublesome delivery from the teenager Thompson. Ahead of De Vries. Alan Reid for Hibs, operating down the right-hand side. 23-year-old. Made his debut in 1999 for Hibs, but he hasn't featured regularly ever since. Stephen Presley in the middle of the Hearts back three. Kevin McKenna to his right. McFarlane and Kisnorbo at the heart of midfield alongside Paul Hartley, who's losing no opportunities to get up in support of the front two. Good ball winning from Kisnorbo. Gets it back from Winus. Now Hartley. In went Murdoch. Alan Reid off Maybury and behind. Danger over, but there is considerable danger to the Hibs defence in these early stages as Hearts continually threaten to score.
It's mainly coming from Paul Hartley. It's great pressure. The Hearts forward players round about the Hibs defenders, not giving them a minute to clear the ball. And Winus is unlucky there. The ball just rolled under his foot.
Craig Levein, Sandy, will be happy with the shape of the team. It's working well.
It is. He's changed his system today to cope with Hibs, and it's working out well. I'm just watching Hibs as well. Scott Brown's now moved up front, and Reid's playing the midfield role. Hibs certainly is playing a 4-3-3, but moving personnel just a little bit at times. Thinking the object of that to confuse the Hearts defenders.
Scott Brown careering into the challenge against Alan Maybury. He'd overrun the ball, that was his problem. But he's not been known to shrink back from any challenges, Scott Brown. And that is his 7th yellow card of the season.
I don't think he can complain. Doesn't get the ball at all. It's a straight leg. His studs are showing. You can see Mike McCurry there indicating why he awarded the yellow card. You can see why in that replay. Scott Brown is very, very competitive, to say the least, but he knocked the ball too far in front. Tried to make amends. But he's given away the free kick, and he's now got a yellow card to his name, and he's still arguing.
I called him a teenage tearaway pre-match, Sunday, and you know, he does get himself over-involved sometimes.
I think you've always got to channel it properly. You've got to be committed, you've got to have enthusiasm, you've got to have desire, but you've got to channel it the right way.
And I think Bobby Williamson's having some fun and games with the 4th official, isn't he?
Yeah, they were absolutely raging about that yellow card, and maybe had Bobby seen the pictures, he might not have argued quite so vehemently, but it's getting a little heated. It was quiet for a while down here, but that wasn't going to last. Bobby getting a little bit excited about that challenge. Interestingly, I mentioned Craig Levein to his defenders that communicate with one another, a bit more chat between the defensive partnership, because Norbourne and Preston maybe in particular, a bit more communication, the key for Hearts at the back.
Here is Patrick Kisnorbo, occupying that key midfield position. Colin Murdoch's header, that's a dangerous one back in from Gary Caldwell, thumped away by Murdoch. Offside. Well, Scott Brown in the last few minutes is at the centre of absolutely everything.
I think he's looking for a free kick there after the challenge from Stephen Preston. I think Mike McCurry would have awarded the free kick, but Hibs picked up the loose ball, and the referee thought that may have been an advantage. Eventually Ryan running offside, took the pressure off the Hearts back line.
A good old wrestling match going on the ground there. Presley and Brown. Alan Maybury getting to the byline. Alan Reid went with him. It's a goal kick.
You see the challenge here. This is a free kick. There's certainly a free kick. Presley's all over Scott Brown. There's no way Mike McCurry wouldn't have awarded that. But he's seen that the Hibs players picked up the loose ball in the middle of the field, had a chance to attack. Eventually ran offside.
De Vries picks out Winus. Paul Hartley was alongside. And Mark De Vries caught by a late challenge from Jakovic. Hearts top scorer looks to be in a bit of trouble. He was still keen to go for the diving header even though he was on the ground at the time. But I wonder whether Jakovic will be yellow carded here, because it's not his first offence.
No, it's not, and it's a late challenge. Again, the referee, he certainly tries to play advantage. Mark De Vries slips the ball to the side, and this catches him late in his ankle. It's a sore one. There's a yellow card coming out right in the sole. Can't come any complaints. There's 2 or 3 times Mike McCurry's tried to play advantage. That's good refereeing. But there's times when you've got to say you have to stop these type of challenges, nip it in the bud right away, and I think that's why there's 2 yellow cards produced.
Yeah, 16 minutes gone. You don't want to be yellow carded this early in the Edinburgh Derby, as Sandy was saying, and that's Brown and Viss already on a caution, already walking a tightrope.
When you look at the start of the game, Rob, Hearts have certainly started the game better, more of a threat going forward, and that's mainly coming from Paul Hartley. Hearts have got 5 across the middle of the park, and Hartley's the one who's going beyond the strikers, causing real problems to the Hibs back players.
I suppose what you'd say as well, that someone like Hartley needs a solid platform behind him to be able to have the confidence to go forward and support the attack. Because Norbo and McFarlane giving him that solid base.
That's exactly what's happening, Rob. Those two are being safe. They're making sure they protect the back line. Hart is the one with the freedom to go literally anywhere he wants.
Dennis Wyness with the head flick. Mark de Vries powering after it. Good defending from Matt Doonby. Timed that perfectly. That's for Scott Brown. Might well have taken that down, Brown, but here's Riordan. Evading the challenges of both Webster and Kisnorbo. Alan Reid across the pitch to Roland Edge. Kevin Thompson squeezed that through. Edge on the overlap. Riordan didn't catch the shot. Ended up as an easy save for Craig Gordon.
It's a real chance for Hibs. First real chance of the game for the whole team. This is the ball line. Riordan's far too much space as far as Craig is concerned. Turns, but he can't really get any purchase on the ball. I think he's footing away just a little bit as he tried to play that.
And such has been Derek Riordan's form this season that you really expected him to score there. Already with 9 goals this season, Riordan, and that could so easily have been double figures. Touch of good fortune maybe about how the Thompson pass reached Edge in the build-up. Paul Hartley on the move again. That's off Doonby. That's a corner.
Good play again from Hartley.
He's been so positive, isn't he?
He has. He's driving at the Hibs defence here. Alan Maybury was went left. He could maybe have slipped him down the wing, but I liked it to have the shot. It was not a corner kick.
Kisnorbo up for this. Andy Webster, Kevin McKenna, alongside de Vries and Wyness. Hartley swings it in, punched by Anderson. Got enough on it to clear the immediate danger area. Mark de Vries lets it go for a corner on the other side.
And the Hibs fans were looking for a free kick against Mark de Vries there. But good pressure on the goalkeeper as that corner came in. Dennis Wyness is right on top of him. Didn't allow him to catch the ball.
Corner kick taken short between Nielsen and Hartley. Paul Hartley again, comes back off this. There's Mark de Vries, saved by Daniel Anderson. Got there just before Andy Webster.
That's another chance for Hearts. It's a corner kick off the training ground. Good little move. Hartley picking up the loose ball, knocking it back into the box. And that's a good challenge between Murdoch and Caldwell. I think it is enough to put the Vries off. You'd expect the big Dutchman to get more power on his header. Also put that down a good defending.
So really it's been chance after chance for Hearts in the opening 20 minutes. And the only real threat to Craig Gordon was that opportunity a couple of minutes ago for Derek Riordan. But on points at the moment, Hearts well ahead.
They're certainly passing the ball better. As we've said before, Hartley's the main man for Hearts as they go forward.
Has Bobby Williamson come down, Chick, in his little joust with fourth official Stephen Conroy?
No, absolutely not. I would say not. That's him. He always knows the cameras on him because he's just calmed down for that particular pose. Don't let that fool you. He's actually a little go at his front players, Gary O'Connor in particular, to press the Hearts defence when they're in possession. The way the game is now, actually. And also to bring forward the midfield, the defence. He's sitting too deep, he believes. Push the game on towards Hearts a little bit.
Man of the match, telephone number 09011 110 861. Signed man of the match top, Bank of Scotland Family Matchday MP3 player. Those are the prizes. Sandy will give his ruling late on in the match. Just about midway through the first half. Fiercely competitive. And Hearts have had much the better of it so far. It's Kevin McKenna's header. Murdoch wins against Wyness. Flicked on by this. That was Robbie Nielsen. Roland Edge. The ball not on the deck for too long at the moment.
No, it's been hectic, but it's been good. It's been exciting. It's been a lot of decent football. That's certainly get the bulk of possession, I'm sure.
It's been about 60-40 by now, I reckon. Nielsen's throw, bouncing in front of de Vries. Did he use an arm to control it? Yes, he did.
Just the one hand, though.
Is that not a free kick if it's only one?
Yeah, of course it is.
Did the arm have intent?
Mark DeVries is shaking his head there. I really can't believe that.
Hibs goalkeeper Daniel Anderson under contract till the end of the season. You'd imagine Bobby Williamson will be keen to extend that. He's been in fantastic form of late. Neil McFarlane. There's this. Kind of stretching to head the ball out. And there was an offside. Well, Hibs fans can't wait till the 14th of March and the CIS Cup final against Livingston. Two balls on the pitch at the moment, and the first one very expertly dealt with there by Craig Gordon of the rugby variety. I think we should be talking about rugby today.
Well, you can if you like, I know nothing about it.
Jankovic, Roland Edge, and out off Robbie Nielsen.
Give that one to Chick Young.
It's the wrong shape.
They're both badly out of shape, isn't it? Kisnobo for Hartley. Gets it back from Maybury. Picking out Neil McFarlane. Mark DeVries tumbles at the edge of the area after the challenge of Murdoch.
It's good play from Hearts again, Paul Hartley. That's a fabulous pass, cross-field ball. First time pass in. Mark DeVries, it's the... I think you've got to class that as a dive eventually. The ball too far in front of him. No need to go down.
Gary O'Connor. Derek Riordan. Shaping for the shot! It's a cracker! Riordan, 25 minutes in, has Hibs ahead on Derby Day. And he hasn't scored many better ones than that.
It's sheer quality. It's no way to describe this. Hearts have been the better team so far in the game, but you can't take away from class. He cuts inside, only one thing in his mind. We had a marvellous view of that right behind the ball, and it was only ever going to end up one place. Tremendous pace on the ball. Right in the top corner, the goalkeeper, no matter what he does, he's never going to get anywhere near this, and you've got to say that's a fabulous goal.
Derek Riordan's 10th goal of the season has Bobby Williamson jubilant. He's been one of the players of the season so far, Derek Riordan, and that's one of the goals of the season. Top class, and having suffered so much early pressure, Hearts creating chances, not taken, and how often have we seen that happen? It's Hibs who have the lead. Kevin Thompson's pass, offside, Riordan. Occasionally, some things go wrong for him.
It's incredible when you look at the game, Rob. Hibs have only 2 chances. The first one come to Riordan, and he made a hash of it, couldn't get his foot under the ball. But the second one, can't even really call it a chance. It's just good positive play from the youngster coming off the left wing. Really, you don't think there's any danger, but a tremendous shot at that. You can't blame the goalkeeper at all. It's all about the quality of the young player.
Alan Maybury tries to do something about that Hibs opener. Loses possession. Andy Webster, it's a great run from Webster, but finally runs it out of play.
There's a little bit of a confrontation there between Alan Maybury.
Well, as Sandy said, we were right behind the line of the shot as Vernon struck it, and look how far it came back. It was absolutely unstoppable.
I'm not sure how far that out it is. It's certainly more than 30 yards. The goalkeeper, young Craig Gordon, does everything right. He moves his feet first. He tries to get across the goal. He throws his body full length and still can't get anywhere near the shot. That just shows you how good a piece of skill it's been from the youngster. You can take no blame at all for that one. Interesting now, Rod, to see how Hearts respond to going a goal down. I keep saying if you have so much pressure, so many chances, you certainly pay the price if you don't score a goal.
And Caldwell with the free kick, plays it from one side to the other. On the left edge, Roland edge. Side off Nielsen. A moment of real quality separates these sides. It's a goal we'll be seeing a whole lot more, I think, in the weeks to come. And one of several talented youngsters who've come off the Easter Road assembly line. And you'd have to think the future looking very bright for Hibs, and the present isn't looking too bad either. Thompson mixing it in midfield with McFarlane and Nielsen. It's a Hibs free kick. Great spirit about these Hibs youngsters, Sunday.
Yeah, well, you get that it's youthful enthusiasm, I think is the best way to describe it. But they're a bonded bunch who play well for each other. They obviously work hard and enjoy the football. And a lot of it has got to go with it.
I think quite a few of them have come through the ranks together too. They started at Hutchison Vale, and they've come here, they've come through the youth teams, reserve team, and now they're doing it at top team level.
Well, that's the way it's got to be. We've spoke forever about the financial problems within the game. The way ahead is to make sure they bring through good young players. I think John Park, the main scout at Hibs, dealing with the younger player youth development. He deserves enormous credit for bringing through this group of players.
And having got in front, Hibs want to keep that edge. Riordan knocks it over the top. Presley back to Gordon. Craig Gordon on his 20th consecutive start in the Hearts first team. And little or no chance of stopping the only goal so far. Long ball from Caldwell. The corner against Webster. And that's McKenna. And the Hearts defence is now being stretched. Amazing what a goal can do.
The goal started taking the sting out the Hearts attack. Really, since they've lost the goal, they've shown nothing at all. They've hardly passed the ball. They're certainly the better team at the moment.
Caldwell's cross, picked out of the air by 21-year-old Gordon. Half an hour gone at Easter Road. Hibs 1, Hearts 0. Caldwell for O'Connor. Alan Maybury did well. Stephen Presley, Neil McFarlane. But Hibs are shutting Hearts down all over the pitch, putting players like Kevin McKenna under real pressure.
It's role reversal, Bob. That's what the Hearts front players and plus Paul Hartley were doing to Hibs early on. Now it's the Hibs players trying to do the same thing.
Hibs looking in control at the moment. Gary Caldwell on the ball. Alan Reid. Two Hibs players on the ground. And a free kick is given against Patrick Kisnorbo. Yellow card as well.
Alan Maybury just a little bit lucky. I think he committed the first free kick. The referee put an advantage, but Kisnorbo, no way he was getting off in that one.
Colin Murdoch and Gary Caldwell both up from defence, joining the attack. Kevin Thompson's left foot, the diving header from Kisnorbo, back in from Reid. There's Murdoch. And hammered away by Presley. Hibs having got the pressure on, looking to keep the pressure on. It's a Hibs throw, won by O'Connor against Webster. The driven cross, headed away by Nielsen. There's Viss. O'Connor tries to get turned. Reid shot off Kisnorbo. Gary Caldwell again played in with a lot of power. Well, real confidence about Hibs at the moment, and they have another free kick.
It's a good spell for Hibs. Winning every 50-50, picking up every loose ball. It's an important spell for Hearts as well, now they can't afford to go two behind. Thompson will take his free kick again, playing the right-hand side left foot. The last one wasn't the best of deliveries. I'm sure he'll be looking for better this time.
In from Thompson. Presley won it. Scott Brown looking for a penalty. Mike McCarthy says no.
I tell you, if it's not a penalty, he's a lucky man, because he certainly goes down. I think there might be contact made, and watch where the ball is. The ball is way in front of him. It certainly makes it look dramatic.
The challenge was also outside the area.
It was outside the box, but the ball being 10 yards in front as well, I think that helped to make up the referee's mind.
And I think that's where reputations go ahead of you as well. Scott Brown spends most matches snarling at the referee and claiming absolutely everything, even when he's got no chance. So when there is a good claim, sometimes the referees can be influenced.
Well, that's what happens, Rob. It's only human nature. I don't think there's any argument that time. That was a free kick mark, the face on Brown. Brown's still moving a little bit. You'll see it here. No question about this one. It's like a clip in the heels.
He's mouthing a little bit, Sandy. He's already been booked.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. I'm sure Bobby Williamson is saying that too. You've got to channel that energy, that enthusiasm the right way.
And of course, he's just back after suspension. Dubé with the free kick. Miscue by Hartley. Maybury clears. Adjusted down by Winus for Nielsen. Good running again from Paul Hartley. Expert covering across from Matt Doumbé. Still has it. Top defending.
That's a great play from the centre-back. We mentioned at the start of the programme how important it was that Doumbé used that pace at the back, and that was a perfect example. Paul Hartley looked favourite, but Doumbé coming across, clearly danger.
Gary Caldwell to Scott Brown. Always a threat, Brown. Caldwell very prominent at the moment in attack for Hibs. In from Reid, away by Webster. De Vries looking for support, but it's Hibs who are first to everything at the moment.
Yeah, right, Rob, that was a perfect example there. Every 50-50 ball, Hibs are first to at the moment.
Now, let's have a look at this. Alan Maybury is never far away from controversy. And have a look at what happened here with the arms flailing around. Have a look at, keep your eyes on Maybury at the left of screen, reacting against Scott Brown.
I think they're both at it there, to be honest with you. Brown certainly reacted as if he'd been hit. And I think his arm went up as well. Probably handbags about somewhere were up with.
It's the end of the derby after all. Colin Murdoch doing the defending against Mark De Vries. Well, we're heading for half-time. Time has flown in this first half at Easter Road. Nielsen's throw, Murdoch's header. Kevin McKenna knocks it beyond the back post and beyond everyone for Hearts.
That's a poor ball from Kevin McKenna. He's got time to take a touch, have a look. He's played it right to the back area when there's no Hearts players around.
We're going to be hearing check from Chris Robinson, I think, at half-time. Any fresh news on the stadium switch?
Yeah, I think we'll be hearing from Chris Robinson that may be an alternative to moving to Murrayfield. We've seen already the Hibs fans, of course, winding up the Hearts fans with the throwing on of a rugby ball this afternoon. The excitement a bit intense because, well, all that's going on, I can tell you, Mick McCurry's going to be working with Bobby Williamson in the touchline. News from Chris Robinson at half-time for an alternative about the move to Murrayfield.
Now, Mike McCurry has had words with his assistant on that far side, Francis Andrews, and then a word with Bobby Williamson. Now he's coming across to speak to the other assistant. That's Kevin Sorby on this side. Right, I think that's spoken to everybody now.
Didn't speak to us.
No, he doesn't.
Of course he does. He's doing well today. His mum will be pleased with him, I'm sure.
Chris Norbo's header. I think it's a problem with the earpieces linking the officials. I said it's a problem with their earpiece. What is the problem, Chick? Have you got your toolbox with you?
Yeah, there's a problem with their earpieces. And I tell you, the bad news is apparently we're picking up Bobby Williamson through the...
Were they getting interference?
Yeah, no, I didn't want it. It was just not for public broadcast. That's all. It's a wee technical problem. I can hear Bobby from here. I don't know why they need earpieces.
What was all that paper listen stuff, is it?
That'll never catch on.
And then 39th minute at Easter Road, Hibs 1 up. Doombay's header, free kick coming against Mark de Vries. He can't believe it.
I didn't see too much in that one. But Doombay, de Vries, we said that would be a good battle, a good confrontation. Doombay doing really well. That's great defending again.
Yeah, despite the infringement, he kept his eyes fixed on the ball, Doombay. Signed by Alec McLeish, Mark Doombay. He said to wait for the departure of both McLeish and Frank Soze before getting his chance. A moment of sheer brilliance has brought about the opening goal at Easter Road. Derek Riordan's effort from 25 yards, which rattled in past Craig Gordon. And it's 1-0 Hibs. Presley to McKenna for Webster. Back to Craig Gordon. And the fluency which Hearts were displaying early on is all gone, and that's all down to Hibs.
It is. I think the goals changed the whole game. When you look at that young man there, it's a fabulous goal. But I think Hibs have had some marvellous players in the first half. Colin Murdoch, who's just going to attack this ball now, he's been immense in the early part of this game too.
Caldwell, O'Connor, didn't get the layoff right. Alan Maybury's there. Neil McFarlane. The Hibs players snapping around him, and Bobby Williamson will be delighted at the aggression shown by his team. And they're finishing this first half much the stronger, having been under all sorts of pressure early on. Hearts looking to do what they did in the opening stages of the game, troubling the Hibs defence, creating chances.
The other part of the game, Rob, Hearts passed the ball really well. It was sharp, it was bright, the good movement, but now it really hasn't happened. They've fallen out the game completely.
We're live in Cardiff on Wednesday night, BBC 2, that is, 7:35, Wales against Scotland. As Bertie Vogts looks to get the squad ready for the forthcoming World Cup qualifiers. Thompson, and Neil McFarlane gets the ball down. No great progress in midfield, Hearts. And then Webster launches the long ball. A wild challenge. Well, I thought it was a wild challenge by Patrick Kisnorbo, but it's a Hearts free kick, apparently.
That one could have went anyway. You'll see it here. Thompson, Kisnorbo. Kisnorbo certainly makes contact on the Hibs player. I don't think Thompson did too much wrong there.
Allowed himself to be knocked over. Well, this would be a good time to score for Hearts. 2.5 minutes left of the first 45. In from Stephen Presley, away by Colin Murdoch. Neil McFarlane, Mark De Vries, Murdoch again. Scott Brown chases everything. That's a wild challenge on Stephen Presley. And Scott Brown might do well to stay there, because he will be a very lucky boy if he doesn't stand up and see a red card. He's been cautioned already, and you would have to think that that has got to be worth a second yellow.
That's a caution, it's as simple as that. He can't win this ball. Stephen Presley's first to the ball's away, and that's a careless, dangerous, silly tackle to make. And the young lad, he's got to learn. He's already had a yellow card, and if he doesn't receive a second, and it looks as if he's going to get away with it, he's very, very fortunate. I tell you, Bobby Williams has got to be thinking now, I've got to take him off.
Yeah.
One more free kick against him.
Well, interesting there, Sandy, that Colin Murdoch sprinted out from the Hibs defence and up to speak to Scott Brown and said to him, what are you playing at? You're going to get yourself sent off. We're going to be down to 10 men. We're 1-0 up here. Let's win the game. Presley's hurt. Over to the touchline. And, well, that is the great escape for Scott Brown, undoubtedly, that he hasn't seen a yellow card, a second one, and a red.
Nate McCurry's just walked past him there. I wonder if he had a quiet word with him. But we keep talking about Scott Brown for the wrong reasons. He's a very, very good footballer, but you lose that in the fact that he's so aggressive and so silly.
Bobby Nielsen's cross, taken up here by Daniel Anderson. And you can only think that Bobby Williamson must be absolutely fuming with young Scott Brown, because he's put himself and his manager under real pressure. And you would imagine there's only really one option for Bobby Williamson to take, and that is to get Scott Brown out of the firing line.
Well, I'm sure as soon as the referee gets to half-time with his assistants, they talk about the game, obviously, and they're going to be saying he's got to be the main one that they're going to be talking about. And one more free kick against him of any nature, and it's going to be another yellow. And there's no way Scott Brown's going to get through the rest of this game without making challenges. That's part of his game, a big part of his game.
Impetuous would be one word to describe him. There are others. And Hibs fortunate to still have 11 players on the pitch. 45 minutes played. Hibs 1, Hearts 0 in the derby. Plenty to talk about, as ever, during the half-time interval.
It's been a great first half, for lots of different reasons.
Just the 1 minute being added, so 30 seconds till the half-time whistle. Presley stays calm under pressure.
From Brown.
That's Doumbé. Winus, too much on the pass from McFarlane. Willen Edge tucked in from left back to clear. It's all gone quiet, approaching the half-time whistle after a fast and furious first half. McKenna's challenge. Half-time at Easter Road. A top-class finish from Derek Riordan separates these two deadly rivals. Top class from him as he gave Craig Gordon not a hope. Murdoch having more words in the ear of young Scott Brown, and you would wonder whether he will re-emerge at the start of the second half. So nearly sent off. Let's get the thoughts of the Hibs assistant manager, Jerry McCabe.
Jerry, fantastic goal. Do you think Hibs are well worth that lead in the first half?
I don't think we started the game too well, Chick, you know. I think they better the early exchanges. But we're beginning to get a foot in the game now, and what a wonder goal, but he's well capable of goals like that.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying that you go and strike it, you never beat him from there.
Well, if anybody want to strike for there, it's him, you know. But we'd like to see him doing more in the game, you know, like to get him more involved in the game.
Just a word about Scott Brown, the booking earlier on, a rather rash challenge towards half-time. Is he somebody you would think maybe taking off for his own protection?
Well, certainly we wouldn't like to take Scotty Brown off, but I think his booking, you know, wasn't merited. I thought it was a decent challenge, but the second one, I know he's got to watch what he's doing now, but we just, you know, Scotty Brown, it's no use taking his enthusiasm out of his game because that's the way he plays.
Thanks, Gerald, in the dressing room.
Thanks, Jack.
Scotty Brown is Scotty Brown, and Derek Riordan is Derek Riordan, and this was his 10th goal of the season. No great threat here for Hearts, but look at the strike. Curling and dipping around and over Craig Gordon into the Hearts net, and Hearts, who did so much of the early exchanges, found themselves one down. They still do at half-time.
Yes, engrossing first half, but the undoubted highlight, that wonderful strike by Derek Riordan. If we see a better goal this season, then we'll be very fortunate indeed, Gordon. It was a great strike, wasn't it?
A magnificent strike. It's a good first half. I think Hearts started the game very well, the better team. Goal against the run of play, no question of that. Hibs have been better since then. There's been a few incidents, obviously, we're going to talk about, including young, enthusiastic Scott Brown there. Different way of it's like enthusiasm is one way of putting it, you know, but
how you channel the enthusiasm.
Exactly. That, I think Derek Riordan's or Riordan in Moscow now, that kind of enthusiasm is a bit better than what Brown's shown so far, but there's certainly a few incidents there.
Yeah, it's one of those games where you can't wait for the second half because you know there's going to be incidents, Scott, don't you?
Well, yeah, definitely is. I mean, I think Gordon's right. Hearts, I thought started much better. I think De Vries looked a bit of a threat early on, and looked like as a team they were passing the ball better. But the goal changed everything, and what a goal! Fantastic. We saw him earlier on in the programme with on his left foot cutting inside, and then there on his right foot swinging outside the post and coming back inside. So, you know, he's got so much talent, and it's nice to see young players showing that in these big games.
It certainly is. 1-0 Hibs leads, half-time in the Edinburgh Derby, and plenty to talk about, which we will later. But let's round up yesterday's 3 remaining SPL matches, beginning with the Livingston-Motherwell match. Commentary from Rob McLean.
David Fernandez has it. Good strike. Opening goal. It's an absolute cracker. Good step over from McNamee. Gives Fernandez some room. It's for Derek Lilly. It's 2-0 Livingston. 29 minutes gone. And Derek Lilly, who scored a hat-trick last weekend in the cup win at Spartans, gets his 14th goal of the season. Lost by Cregan to Makel. Through goes David Fernandez. He scored this time. That's a brilliant finish. It's his first league goal back at Livingston. The other 2 this season coming in the Scottish Cup run. The Motherwell skipper, Adams, flights it in. Penalty given. Here's Derek Adams. Saved. In goes the second attempt from the Motherwell skipper.
Livingston players certainly reacted well today. Yes, it was flat in midweek for them, and we knew that they would bounce back today. But they bounced back very strongly. They just overwhelmed us today and outfought us in every department.
I think any team is capable of beating one another from out with the Old Firm, I would say, and that will be the case from now to the end of the season.
There wasn't much to talk about in the first 51 minutes of this match. The next 6, though, were fantastic. Stefan Bon scored his first goal in 4 years of Scottish football last week in the Cup, and yesterday got his first in the Premier League. Jerry Britton's shot blocked by McLaughlin, and the French striker beat his countryman to open the scoring. It should have been all over just 2 minutes later when the Killie midfield tried to commit Harry-Carry. But thankfully for them, Bon is still taking time to hone his finishing. Within a minute, Killie were back in it thanks to a Chris Boyd knockdown and former Jag David Lilley's first goal of the season. The ball fell behind Lilley. What a talent it is to be double-jointed. From double joints to double joy. In the blink of an eye, Killie were ahead. Sub Chris Boyd rose highest while the Jags' defence seemed stuck in the mud. They are now stuck at the bottom, 8 points adrift, while Killie celebrated their first home win since the 29th November.
The supporters got a bit of stick last week for no getting behind us or maybe the small numbers, but today they turned out and they got right behind this side, and we've got to thank them for that, and it was great that we gave them a victory.
We've got massive matches coming up, we've got Celtic and then we've got cup games coming up, so let's be positive and think of the games. We'll keep fighting until we get until the last breath, to be honest, because we feel we've still got a chance. When there's points to be played, we'll be playing for them.
Dundee must be sick of the sight of Dunfermline. They'd already lost the previous 2 league matches with the Pars this season, and when Noel Hunt put Dunfermline ahead after half an hour, his celebrations indicated that run was unlikely to be broken. Darren Young's hit and hope wasn't properly dealt with, and that's 2 in 2 games for Hunt. Dundee created 1 or 2 openings in the second half. Lee Mayer can count himself a little unlucky that his header found Darren Young in the right place to clear. But the home side never really did enough to breach the Dunfermline backline, despite the best efforts of Nacho Novo. He couldn't find goal number 22 of the season yesterday, so Dundee were left empty-handed.
There wasn't too many chances in the game. We had 2 or 3 decent chances, and we're really just looking for a little break. Unfortunately, never got that. But I think the first half was the reason why we lost the match.
We started to get sloppy the last 10 minutes of the first half because we had so much possession and so much time on the ball. Dundee never got near us. But we knew Jim and Jinky would get them up for the second half, and they did. And we had to defend. Our passing was poorer. They were a bit sharper second half. And the tide turned a little bit, but not as domination as we had first half, and it was a thoroughly deserved victory, I think.
Derek, a huge week coming up for the club. Monday, I believe, is decision day. Can you give us any indication what the players are feeling right now?
The players, we want to do everything we can to help the club. We know that this is about the club at the moment. We're just there in the short term, and it's about the club, and we want to do everything we can to help the club.
Difficult times at Dunfermline, but at least that long-awaited away win has them well clear in 4th place. At the other end of the table, the importance of Kilmarnock's victory is quite obvious. They now move 12 ahead of Thistle and 4 ahead of Aberdeen at the wrong end of the table. Let me just take you back to Livingston. Firstly, though, Gordon, all credit to them. A terrific performance after the kind of week they've had. Yeah, they've been having a terrific season, playing-wise and playing very well until... obviously all these problems, and then that really disastrous result for them during the week. And I think that was a result of what's going on, and I think they bounced back from it yesterday. I mean, the players they lost, there weren't many of them were really could be considered first-team choices, so they haven't really suffered too much in terms of players lost, and I think that's probably helped them regenerate within the club as well and come back. And they've got a final to play as well, as we know. But yesterday, by all accounts, first half they were tremendous. They did. They played well, and well, a huge win for Kilmarnock, Scott, wasn't it? At your end of the table, if you forgive me saying so.
Yeah, that's right. They'll be delighted to be getting that 3 points. But Aberdeen have played quite well against Kilmarnock this season, and I've found that they've just given away too many goals. But they'll be happy to get that little bit of breathing space at the bottom of the table.
All right, thanks, Scott. Well, we're hearing developments on the long-running Where Will Hearts Be Playing Next Season saga. Chris Robinson, apparently, has uncovered another possibility. He's with Chick.
Chris, is there an alternative to Hearts moving to Murrayfield?
There's no current alternative. There's some plans on my desk at the moment, but unfortunately we can't get a hold of the site to put the plans on. But we're always in discussion, and I'll not be giving up on an alternative. But Murrayfield is the option in the short term. But this alternative would take 2 or 3 years to put in place.
Tell me exactly a little bit more about it. I mean, the option is to actually remove the stands from Tynecastle.
Well, the architect who built Tynecastle says that all 3 of the new stands could be dismounted. The main parts, the girders and the concrete, and repositioned if we can find a site. And he's shown us how that can be done. But really, we're a long way off that. I wouldn't like to give anybody any impression that that's something that is going to happen, because as I've found for the last 3 years, getting the site is the hardest part. But we have a site that we think it could work at, but we just can't get our hands on it at the moment.
But those who would be against going to Murrayfield would see this as a chink of light, that you're at least considering an option.
I've always considered options. I wouldn't like anyone to see it as a chink of light, because I know how difficult it is to deliver All I'm saying is, I was asked a question, is Murrayfield forever? And, you know, at any one time there's always a plan on the desk to see if there's an alternative. Whether that can be brought to fruition is very difficult to say.
Thanks for bringing that news to us, Chris. Thank you.
It's an intriguing thought, isn't it? Chunks of the Tynecastle stand's been taken down Princess Street in a low loader. Still, if it works, a lot of the Hearts fans would settle for it. 1-0 they trail in the Edinburgh derby. Let's take you back through some absolutely engrossing incidents, and this young man poses such a threat. Early on, he'll be disappointed with a missed kick though, Scott. This was a chance, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a great ball played through here, and he gets himself in a great position. Great first touch, but just failed to connect with that one. But showed the second effort that he had that he can connect with the ball quite well.
I think we showed in the stuff about him in early before the game being a key man is the fact he's both-footed. He scores. His free kick was with his right. His other 2 goals with left, and this is a great example of being two-footed here, because look at that. That's amazing.
You'll never see a sweeter strike. It was just glorious.
You know, and the thing is, he shapes up. He knows exactly what he's doing there as well. He knows he's putting the curl on it. He opens up the goals for himself. He allows the run. The run was great as well on his left-hand side. That just takes Nielsen.
How is he? That's 25 yards plus.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, I think that's the thing about him. I said also earlier that he's got a bit of arrogance about him. He seems to have that kind of belief in himself that he can turn inside and hit it from 25, 30 yards and get it on target, and did there.
A goal to remember. Having said that, it did come against a run of play at the time, because Hearts had started the more brightly. No real clear-cut chances, I don't think, Scott, but there were certainly 1 or 2 opportunities where Mark De Vries usually involved.
No, but I thought they'd started the game really well, and De Vries was in the middle of most of the action there. And I think just, you know, luckily in the first half, just Hearts went right out of the game, and I think due to the confidence, you know, given by the goal from Riordan. So I think here, you know, they're trying to work situations to get the ball into De Vries. A little lob ball here into De Vries, but Murdoch deals with it very well.
He is the kind of player you've got to keep a very close eye on, and Murdoch does well here.
They've not had enough from they've not had enough set pieces, really, Hearts. I thought they would cause Hibs problems today, and having said that, Hibs defended that one well, but in general play, this is one that could have been considered. You can see definitely Murdoch makes contact with De Vries, and whether the referee decided that, you know, he wasn't going to, he got on the end of that ball, that shouldn't really matter. If it's a foul, it's a foul, and I think there was definitely contact on De Vries there on the edge of the box. But Hearts were doing well at that stage, but just couldn't put the ball in the net.
Hibs had a penalty claim, which I think we can see was actually outside the area, but this young man, who we'll talk about some more in a moment, was involved once again. What about this one?
Definite foul, in my opinion. I think he takes a... Webster comes in and stamps on his foot. It's outside the box. Watch this. You can see him catching his foot there.
Should have been a free kick.
Should have been definitely a free kick.
Yep, definitely.
But let's talk about Scott Brown. He's only 18 years old. He's got terrific talent, but we're all hearing from players within the game that he's a young man with a big mouth. He's irritating to older players. He can't keep quiet. There's a question mark over the temperament, and there's a question mark over tackles like that. He's very, very lucky, having been booked earlier, that he didn't get a red card.
I think the thing is that, you know, obviously Bobby Williamson knows the kind of player he is, and he doesn't want to lose that enthusiasm as a player, but he's got to tame this kind of negative aggression that you can see here. It's been building up the whole first half.
Showing the studs there.
Yeah.
What about this one? I'm surprised that Mike McCurry thought this wasn't worthy of a red card, never mind a yellow.
That's amazing. I mean, he even leaves his foot in there after the fact he knows that Stephen Prez is taking that ball away. You know, and I can't believe that could have been a straight red.
Yeah.
It's got to be a yellow. And he's got away with it. And if I was Bobby Williamson right now, I would take him off. I wouldn't take a risk in him, you know, having a problem.
There was also an incident off the ball involved with Alan Mabry. Now, we're not sure whether Mabry was provoked with a kick or whether it was a word, but Mabry throws out an arm. And once again, it's Scott Brown who's involved. Bobby Williamson is aware of those temperamental weaknesses. It's something which a very talented young player is obviously going to have to nip in the bud. Right, Peter Houston is with Chick with his thoughts as we approach the second half.
Peter, I mean, fantastic goal to us the first half, but are you unhappy with the Hearts played?
No, I think first 25 minutes to 30 minutes we absolutely dominated the game. They're probably the first shot to go. I think they've scored us a wonder strike. Not a lot you can do about that. It's up to us to try and get into the game in the second half, make sure we get a result.
I don't know if you've made any changes at half time, or are you going too soon?
No, probably soon, not right away.
Thanks, Peter. Light you out.
Cheers.
Well, the man of the moment, 21-year-old Derek Riordan. It's hard to believe that last season he was on loan at Cowdenbeath. He was scoring so heavily for the Fife team that he was taken back here to Easter Road, and Now you would say he's got to be knocking on the door of the Scotland squad. 10 goals this season. He's a threat against every team he plays. And Bertie Vogts will surely, sooner or later, have to take an interest. When you see the current Scotland squad and who are getting their chances, Derek Riordan, Sandy, can't be far away.
You're right, Rob. He's a tremendous player. He scores goals. He plays that wide left position, as Gordon was saying. He's two-footed, very strong on either foot. We've seen him coming off the left-hand side and fire a marvelous shot in, a tremendous goal. And you're right, he's a talented player who, hopefully for the sake of the Scottish game, will keep developing.
His goal separates these two, and Hearts will look to start the second half the way they started the first. But with one subtle difference, they need to take a chance. That's the first involvement of Brown, helping out his defence. And I would imagine that Bobby Williamson will have had a word in 18-year-old Scott Brown's ear during the half-time interval, because, well, the nearest blink on the wrong side of the law, he's away. Mark de Vries has won a penalty for Hearts, and I don't think Colin Murdoch can have any great argument.
He can't. There's good play from de Vries, showing good pace here. He's going beyond Murdoch, good skill. Murdoch tries to pull out of it, but his knee's there, and de Vries is wise enough, sensible enough. If you go into him, entice the challenge, you can see it there, no question about it. Brings him down, it's a penalty kick.
Inside the first minute after the restart, Colin Murdoch has given Hearts the chance to square the game. Stephen Presley was the match winner in midweek against Aberdeen. It's Presley, it's 1-1. The Hearts skipper has his team back on level terms. What a dramatic opening to the second half.
Great composure from Stephen Presley, takes the responsibility, keeps his eye on the goalkeeper doesn't have a clue which way he's going, sees the goalkeeper move slightly to his right, decides I'm going the opposite way, and it's a perfect penalty kick.
Well, I said the Hearts wanted to begin the second half the way they started the first. They have done explosively. And this time the chance is taken. Reese won the penalty. Stephen Presley put it away, and that was inside 50 seconds of the restart. And if you look for calmness and composure from the penalty spot, he's your man. Stephen Presley's fourth goal of the season. And how important might that one prove to be?
It's certainly going to be game on now. Just the start of the second half. Hearts wanted to get back in the match. Hugh Houston was saying that at half-time, wanted to start the second half the way they started the first. And they've got that break early on.
And Hibs' one-goal lead is wiped away by Mark de Vries and Stephen Presley. To Kisnorbo to Dennis Winus. Kisnorbo again. Played straight to Maybury by Reid. That's a dangerous ball in from Maybury, inviting a Hearts taker inside the penalty box.
It's a good ball from Alan Maybury.
Just into that area in front of the goalkeeper, which invites indecision. A wayward pass from Neil McFarlane, and that puts Alan Maybury on the back foot. Well, real drama in this second half. It won't take long to get it either. 38 seconds after kick-off, the moment that Murdoch tripped de Vries, and Hearts had their penalty.
It's now Hibs' turn to see how they react to the goal. Hearts certainly found it difficult towards half-time. Hibs could maybe get more goals in front. A lot of young players in the Hibs team as well, inexperienced.
Daniel Anderson clears. He's Norbo with the header. Robbie Nielsen trying to force his way down the right side, and Nielsen bundled into the advertising boards, and that's well worth another look.
I think it's just the enthusiasm from Robbie Nielsen. Murdoch's always first to the ball. Just a little nudge there.
Yeah, Kevin Thompson it was, yeah.
It's just a shoulder challenge though. He just ended up in a bad place, but thankfully he's back on his feet. He's okay. It's a man's game, I keep saying that.
Could have hurt himself there though. It was an awkward fall. It's 1-1 in the third Edinburgh derby of the season. 1-0 Hibs in August, 2-0 Hearts in November. And they can't be separated at the moment. Nielsen to squeeze that through for De Vries. Kevin Thompson, good pass. Gary O'Connor against Andy Webster. Tried to set up Thompson again. There was a lack of support there for Gary O'Connor. He held the ball up and didn't really have too many options in the end.
He just got to hold the ball a bit longer, Rob. It's poor play. He didn't have to pass the ball, and when he did pass it, he gave it away to McFarlane. Haven't seen too much of O'Connor at all today.
I just thought the support was a bit slow getting through.
Well, you've got to hold it. If it's not there, you've got to keep the ball. It's as simple as that. And he wasn't under a lot of pressure, O'Connor.
Well, Colin Murdoch's misery continues. That's a yellow card to follow the penalty conceded. Mike McCurry and company have abandoned the earpieces in the second half. They were proving pretty ineffective. Presley's free kick. Kevin McKenna flipped it on now with Maybury. And there was just a moment where Daniel Anderson was going to go for it and then stopped. And then came off his line and grabbed it. Good kick. Riordan kept out by the combination of Nielsen and Presley. And that's a late challenge by the goal scorer Riordan. And he too could be yellow carded for that, although it looks as if McCurry is just going to have a word.
Well, the referee gets this one right. It's certainly a free kick. It's a forward challenge. It's a silly one. I think his foot bench was on the ground. Robbie Nielsen's back to his feet. No real contact made. I think the pro back seen it coming. Read the tackle. It was a free kick, but I think that's the first one against that young man in the game.
De Vries won the header. Doumbé got the better of Winus. And recklessly in went Robbie Nielsen.
That's a crazy challenge for Robbie Nielsen. He's lucky he doesn't make contact. Roland Ness sees it coming, stays out the road, but there's real aggressive play from the full-back.
Answer me this, Sandy. Why is that not a yellow card?
It doesn't make contact, but you know the intent. You could see the intent was there. I think that's what Bobby's saying to Mike McCurry. It's a silly challenge for Robbie Nielsen. You know, that type of challenge, we've seen a few of them today. They make the referee's job so difficult. It's hard enough. But Mike McCurry's had a lot of big decisions to make today. Thankfully, he's got most of them right. The players are certainly not helping them.
Chick, Bobby felt strongly about that, clearly.
Oh, well, absolutely, and it was a bad challenge, and he reacted, the whole dugout reacted. He's now checking with the fourth official to see if what Bobby Williamson has said. There's been words said between the fourth official and Bobby Williamson. Bobby Williamson saying he said nothing out of order. Mike McCurry just telling them to calm down a little bit. He said he'll deal with the situation. Stay calm. He was on top of the booking, obviously, for Robbie Nielsen. And it's taken a little while to sort it all out, but the Hibs bench need to calm down.
I think Mike McCurry was saying, I don't have an earpiece, but I can still hear you. Liverpool ahead against Portsmouth in the FA Cup in England. 1-0. Michael Owen after 2 minutes. 1-1. Hibs against Hearts at Easter Road. Eric Riordan in the first half. Stephen Presley's penalty early in the second. And we have a game in our hands here.
Another strong challenge here, Patrick Snorbo and Gary Caldwell. The players have got to calm down now. I keep saying it's hard enough for the referee, but when you get these silly challenges, you can't win the ball. You can't complain if you get a yellow card.
Caldwell's free kick. Murdoch got his head to it, but he was under a fair bit of pressure from Mark de Vries. Couldn't really direct the header into a dangerous position.
I think I'm right in saying, Rob, that there was no yellow card for Robbie Nielsen that time. He's a lucky man as well.
No yellow card for Nielsen, but we have 4 already. Brown, Viss, Murdoch for Hibs, Kisnorbo for Hearts. Ten minutes into the second half. Derek Riordan's first half cracker cancelled out. 38 seconds in when Murdoch mistimed his challenge against Mark de Vries. That's good link up between de Vries and Wyness, and now McFarlane, although he was unable to do much with that.
It was a poor pass eventually from Wyness. Good move from Hearts, good break. It's a yellow card as well.
That adds to our collection, number 5 of the yellow cards for Paul Hartley, who of course was red carded last weekend in the Cup against Celtic.
I was at that game last week, Rob, and he got booked for almost the same thing. He's leading with his elbow. Mike McCurry got a good view of that one.
So 5 yellow cards, but I have to still think it's amazing that we don't have a red card in this game. Scott Brown can feel himself a very lucky boy not to have been dismissed in the first half. He didn't get a yellow card for a much tougher challenge than the one he was booked for. Gary Caldwell flicks it wide for Alan Reid. That's a decent ball in for Gary O'Connor. Good delivery from Alan Reid. It does make compelling viewing, doesn't it, the Edinburgh Derby? You won't find yourself dozing off during this one. Neil McFarlane's pass, inviting the run of Paul Hartley. Back from Murdoch to Anderson, he knocks the ball out of play.
This is a great ball in from Alan Reid down the right-hand side. Good play from Gary Caldwell. This is hard to defend against. Just throws up towards the back post area there. A good defender from Hearts.
Robbie Nielsen up against the advertising boards again. This time it was his decision. His throw came off Doumbé, and he managed to clear. Andy Webster knocks it back in for Mark de Vries. There was pushing going on there. Well, I felt Mark de Vries was being barged off the ball by Colin Murdoch, and he can't quite believe that the decision goes the other way.
I think there's 2 Hibs players round about Mark de Vries when this ball is headed back in. There's 2 players there, both trying to win the ball. To me, I don't think it's a free kick either way. I think he'd play on, and I think Hearts may have got an advantage in behind Murdoch there.
Reid. In goes Scott Brown against Alan Maybury, who handled the threat pretty well, and there's, as usual, a little bit of verbal afters between Brown and Maybury. And Gary O'Connor has a problem with his left leg.
I think it was a challenge with Stephen Presley just a few minutes ago. I'm sure Gary O'Connor will be okay. This is it here. It's Andy Webster catches him. His trailing leg in a dangerous area.
It's got him in the trailing something else, I think.
But Scott Brown's unlucky there. Almost got through, but Alan Maybury managed to clear it.
He was caught in a piece of anatomy with which Xander Diamond scored against Rangers yesterday at Pittodrie.
It's a bounce ball, it's interesting. Craig Gordon had the ball in his hands, kicked it long when O'Connor was injured. I think we're going to see an old-fashioned bounce ball.
Well, Scott Brown's just the man you want for a drop ball here, isn't he?
Well done.
Hearts are going to make a change any moment now. Dennis Wyness on the ball. He's going to be the man who's going to come off. He's been largely ineffective. Robbie Nielsen for Paul Hartley. Well, if he'd got a good first touch there, he might have had a great chance to score.
It was all about the first touch from Paul Hartley. Gets it all wrong. Good ball here from Robbie Nielsen. Finds Hartley, has a look. You can see him there, head up. It's a marvellous ball. Paul tries to control it and turn all the one movement. Just didn't quite get it right.
Check what our Hearts planning to do here.
That'll be a straight swap from Hearts' point of view. Dennis Wyness has been ineffective today. Really haven't seen too much of him at all. And young Graham Weir, he'll certainly put himself about.
It's Graham Weir for Dennis Wyness, 19-year-old Weir, who gets precious few opportunities in the top team. He, of course, will go down in Hearts history as the scorer of 2 late goals in the classic 4-4 game. We've played an hour, the third derby in Edinburgh of the season. Gary Caldwell's cross. Kevin McKenna well positioned to head clear. Alan Mabry's under a bit of pressure from Alan Reid. Goal kick.
Good play from Mabry. Great first touch.
Craig Levine and Peter Houston got exactly what they wanted from their team. Immediately this match resumed in the second half. Now looking to go on and win it. Both teams badly want that. Kevin Thompson. That's a lovely flighted pass to Derek Riordan. It was well defended by Kevin McKenna, very aggressive, very positive. And there was real quality on that pass from Thompson. It was inch perfect.
It was a great ball, great first touch from Riordan. We'll see it here, over the top of McKenna, but McKenna recovers really well. Gets his body in between the player and the ball to win the tackle.
Riordan foiled for once, but not to be denied one of the goals of the season in the first half. It's a free kick in Hibs' favour.
That's a silly one from Robbie Nielsen. The defender rolling edge, he can't go anywhere.
Just get Hibs out of jail at that point by taking the pressure right off them. Murdoch's header. Gary O'Connor flicks it on. Stephen Presley, scorer of the Hearts equaliser. Lister Brown. Gets away from Presley. His Norbo's after him. He's such a talent, Scott Brown, that he really should concentrate on playing his football. When he does, he really is top class.
You're right when you say that, Rob, but you can't take the enthusiasm from his game either. Jerry McKay was saying that.
Well, there's enthusiasm and there's recklessness there, surely.
Yeah, you're right. It's maybe naivety, lack of experience. He's got so much to offer as a footballer. Just channel that energy the right way. He'll have a real future.
Useful ball in, and Craig Gordon well above everyone else to pluck it out of the air. Patrick Kisnorbo. Mark de Vries. Alan Mabry. Over the top for de Vries, he's onside! And couldn't finish. What an opportunity to turn this match on his head.
It's great play from Hearts. Mabry involved, de Vries involved. You'll see it's a marvellous ball in. Remember, Mark de Vries played that ball to Mabry. He laid it off, played a great ball in. And again, it's a very poor first touch from the big striker. He won't get a better chance in this game.
You'd call that an open goal, wouldn't you?
Yep.
McFarlane. Intended for Hartley. Couldn't be intercepted. And Mark de Vries must be reflecting on that classic case of a glaring miss. And the man who scored 4 goals in his first derby had a real chance to add to his tally there. And, well, for a striker of the quality of Mark de Vries, you would really expect him to get that down and tuck it past Daniel Anderson.
It's great play, Rob. If you take it further back, it was de Vries that laid the ball off to Maybury, and he headed straight for the back post there, and a great ball from Maybury. Just that first touch.
Alan Reid off for Hibs. Tam McManus on. Can't get a starting place at the moment, McManus. And he's a player of some ability as well.
Very inconsistent, Tom, that's his problem. That'll be a straight swap. McManus will play right on the right-hand side. He's tucked in a little bit. Same position as he played.
With more of a goal threat, McManus, you would think. And that's what the change must be all about at this stage. It's one thing, stalemate, but Bobby Williamson and Craig Levein badly want to win the Edinburgh Derby. Thompson's cross, Maybury's header. In goes Caldwell. It was a wild challenge, leading with the elbow against Patrick Kisnorbo, but credit to Kisnorbo, very quickly back on his feet.
Well, it's a 50-50 ball. Kisnorbo just gets there a fraction before Caldwell. Both players just enthusiastic, want to win the ball. The fact that Kisnorbo got there first, that's why Hibs got the free kick.
25 minutes left. Hibs 1, Hearts 1. Mark de Vries with the header. As the Sandy Clark fan club pipe up. The Hibs fans, would they?
Yeah, no, too concerned with that one, not to say the least, coming from here.
There's this. McKenna in front of Riordan. Murdoch under pressure again, and you can sense the nerves in Colin Murdoch. And he's got Mark de Vries breathing down his neck. He's already been caught out badly in the second half by the Hearts striker.
That's been Murdoch's only mistake in the game. How costly could it be?
Nielsen's throw. It was a bit lazy for Kisnorbo and allowed Gary O'Connor to win possession. Did well to play that back in, did Nielsen. Doumbé is there. Headed back into the area by McFarlane. And Murdoch concedes a corner. And says, what else could I do?
That's good pressing for the Hearts players though. We're involved, the police involved. McFarlane, Kisnorbo, all put the Hibs under pressure. Not allowing to play the ball.
Reese wants it. Hartley's delivery. Maybury just wide.
Just off target, but it's a tremendous effort from Alan Maybury. Catches it really well. If that ends up in the back of the net, it's every bit as good as Riordan's goal. Great technique.
If he'd struck that one straight, it certainly started on target, but it swung a lot in the air from Maybury, but he got great contact. Midway through the second half at Easter Road. It's 1-1 between these two teams who love to hate each other. Foul by Viss on Kisnorbo as Bobby Williamson prepares to get Stephen Whittaker involved in this match. Chick.
Yeah, Jarko Viss is going to be coming off. Stephen Whittaker is going to come on to replace him. Bobby Williamson still thinks he can go on and win this match. He's been a little excitable in the second half about the performance of his team, but another change coming up. Well, Whittaker coming on, Viss coming off.
Hearts have a free kick, 25 yards out. Taken quickly by Nielsen, but he'll have to bring it back.
Good bit of skill there from Paul Hartley to win the free kick. I think Hearts trying to take advantage, take a quick one.
It's within strikeable distance for Paul Hartley. Daniel Anderson could be under pressure here. He's coped with just about everything that's been flung at him recently. He's been a top player for Hibs. In the 70th minute, Hartley's effort! Off the post! And away by Gary Caldwell. So close. to a second Hearts goal.
Great defending eventually from Caldwell, but what a free kick from Paul Hartley. Does everything right. There's Ben culling the ball, hits the junction between the post and the bar, but Caldwell gets there so quick to prevent Weir sticking the ball in the back of the net. It's a tremendous free kick from Paul Hartley. So unlucky.
Kevin McKenna on the end of the corner. A free kick given for jostling going on, and we raved about the quality of goal, but well, this had quality written all over it as well from Paul Hartley, and you just wonder why he doesn't score more goals. He's only got one so far in Hearts colours, but this one curled and dipped, moved so far in the air that it had Daniel Anderson beaten, and how the goalkeeper was relieved when he looked across. Caldwell reacting quickest to the loose ball.
See when you see it from that angle, Rob, I'm not too sure if the goalkeeper didn't just get a fingertip to it. I think this may well have been a save.
It's a blink, and you'll definitely miss something here. McManus breathing down Maybury's neck, and Tom McManus had a kick at Alan Maybury there, I'm sure, after the ball had gone. And they're having words now, and I don't think there's any doubt that he had a little swing at Maybury with his boots, McManus, when the ball was clear. You really do need about 3 sets of eyes. And poor old Mike McCurry and his mum watching as well. He's got a lot to do here to keep tabs on everything.
They're always in a good game. It's been difficult. There's not too much has gone wrong.
Hartley's free kick. Doumbé on the end of it. In goes Kisnorbo. That's Murdoch. Offside.
This is a free kick from Paul Hartley. There's Ben, there's Curl, but watch Anderson. Does he just get a fingertip to this? I think he did, just puts it on the post.
Yeah, I think he did. That's good backtracking by Scott Brown, which keeps out Robbie Nielsen. And there was jostling going on. Well, so much happening off the ball, and well, the latest incident involves Tam McManus, and just watch closely what happens here, because Alan Maybury initially was trying to usher the ball out of play, and then after it's gone, well, was that intended for the ball? I don't think so.
Well, if it was pure judgment, to say the least, from Tam McManus. The ball must have been 8-9 yards away.
Mark de Vries being pulled all over the place by Colin Murdoch. Chick, I know you've been studying Mike McCurry's refereeing this season very closely.
Yeah, he was just telling me a little bit interested about his CV this year. He's already done the Glasgow Derby, the Dundee Derby and the Edinburgh Derby, so all in one season, which I think is I'm not saying it's a unique achievement, but it's a collector's item.
He hasn't done the Derby, has he? Presley's free kick. Mark de Vries tried to get on the end of it, and calm defending from Murdoch. And it's pretty difficult to be calm in these sort of surroundings. That was Whittaker for Hibs, the substitutes. De Vries to Hartley, overrun it. And that made Matt Doumbé a hot favourite. He's got himself into some very menacing attacking positions, Paul Hartley, and of course he was so close just a few minutes ago to putting Hearts in front.
It's a good game, Paul Hartley. Right from the start of the game, Hartley's been a real threat going forward.
Just every so often in this match you have to collect yourself and remember what's been happening. We've played 75 nearly frantic minutes. It's 1-1. Alan Maybury looking for Paul Hartley. Matthias Dumbe was in the way. Scott Brown has it for Hibs. Tom McManus. Gary Caldwell. Andy Webster prods it straight at McManus. And it's off the Hearts defender for the Hibs throw. Under no great pressure. Let's give it away. It was Gary O'Connor.
Gary O'Connor's not had very much of an influence in the game today. Haven't seen much of him at all. But he did score the winner the last time we were here, the last minute.
He had a big influence in August with that late goal which settled it here. And this match is well up to be won by either of these teams. Bobby Williamson hoping his team can make it a second derby win of the season, but they've been pegged back in this second half. They were going well as the first half ended, but they were stunned with that early penalty just after the game had restarted. It's Norbo, Maybury. Not the pass Graham Weir wanted. He is buzzing around Matt Dumbe. It's flipped straight from Whittaker to Kisnorbo. Hartley. Decent ball into the box. Down goes Graham Weir. Mike McCarry unimpressed.
He's given a free kick to Hibs. I think Graham Weir's looking for a penalty, but I think you'll find both players get tangled up here. Caldwell just a little bit late coming in. He's on the wrong side. They're both pulling. I tell you, that's a hard one for the referee to give as well. Both involved, both tugging.
Next Sunday we're at Firhill. Partick Thistle against Celtic from 2:25. Martin O'Neill's team with a 13-point advantage at the top of the Scottish Premier League. And even when they are failing to fire on all cylinders, they still seem to win. 23 straight league wins this season. Since dropping their only 2 drop points at Dunfermline on the opening day. Phenomenal performance from Celtic, and we'll see them next Sunday at Firhill. Well, it's at that stage of the game where a moment of magic could win it for one of these two. A mistake could also settle it, and they'll be very conscious of that. It's all about bragging rights in Edinburgh for the next couple of months, maybe even longer, if there's not to be a 4th Edinburgh derby this season.
It's also at the stage of the game, Rob, where players are very, very tired. They've worked hard in this game. That's when mistakes happen. They're losing concentration a little bit because of the tiredness.
Hibs are going to bring on Stephen Dobbie shortly. That's not too surprising because he's been in good goal-scoring form, and it was he, of course, who scored against Rangers in normal time in the CIS semi-final. 15,016 inside Easter Road for the derby, and they're all absolutely captivated by what they're seeing, and they're all on the edge of their seats, because this could go either way.
It certainly has been a classic as far as football is concerned, but it's been really exciting right from the first minute.
Missed by O'Connor and McKenna. Hooked on by McFarlane. De Vries against Dumbe. In goes Graham Weir. And Mark De Vries was holding his hand up in the air while that was all going on, signalling to Mike McCarry, whoever's guilty here, I'm innocent.
I think it's Matt Dumbe that's holding Mark De Vries. In fact, I'm sure it is. Eventually, Dumbe pulls him over. That for me is a free kick for Hearts right on the edge of the box.
It's Hibs' biggest crowd of the season. What with live television here as well. Gary Caldwell in, Kevin McKenna away. Robbie Nielsen's had a great season for Hearts, looked to be out of it for a while. Webster won the aerial tussle with O'Connor. Norbo fires it up to De Vries. He's put in a tough shift as Mark de Vries for Hearts, but he's just finding goals hard to come by at the moment. Seems to be a feature of his seasons. He starts on fire and then goes through a quiet patch in terms of scoring. And he couldn't whip that one back in from the byline. Well, Stephen Dobbie's still waiting to get on the pitch, but I'm not too sure Bobby Williamson knows who to take off.
Yeah, well, he's been stuck for some time now, Stephen Dobbie. They are getting his instructions from Jim Clark. The change was going to be, they've been debating who to come off, and I do think it might be Derek Riordan that's coming off, the goal scorer. And you got a tremendous ovation of the Hibs fans. In fact, that's that confirmed to me. It's been Riordan that's coming off, Rob.
Alan Maybury. Patrick Kisnorbo! It's wide. It went the wrong way. He was looking for that one to swing back in the other direction. Then it might have been the match winner.
It's a good play from Alan Maybury. Taking into space for Kisnorbo. That's a decent shot. We think Daniel Anderson was getting to this one. And it just drifts out a foot or so outside the post. Tremendous effort.
He hasn't scored for Hearts so far, Patrick Kisnorbo. That would have been some way to break your duck. Derek Riordan heads off. After that glorious goal in the first half. And Stephen Dobbie is a goal threat as well as his replacement. Check, what's Craig Levein saying at the moment?
Well, he's been given a little hand signal to Mark de Vries that there's 10 minutes to go. It's actually only 9, to be honest, and 8.5 in fact.
Was it 10 when he said it though?
The message is to lift the game and really go for it. They believe they can win it. Both teams, I think, the bench here, believe they can still win this match. But Craig Levein just telling his team to lift it, less than 10 to go, fire themselves up.
A win would make it 5 points between Hearts and Dunfermline for the Tynecastle team. A win would get Hibs back into the top 5. And we all know how much Bobby Williamson likes speaking about the top 5 or top 6. He speaks quickly, doesn't he? Doumbé to Caldwell. McManus fouled by Maybury.
Accidental that save from Alan Maybury. Right chance for Hibs at the set piece. Murdoch's up from the back.
In from Kevin Thompson. Murdoch was there. Whittaker is there. Dobbie's shot blocked. Roland Edge. Off McFarlane, Hibs throw.
You've got to say, Rob, Hearts have defended really well today. Another set piece there, all the big guys up from the back. But Stephen Presley's marshalled them so well at the back. He's been immense at the heart of the Hearts defence today.
A couple of good defenders on either side of him as well. Patrick Kisnorbo launches it downfield. Doumbé to Murdoch. Whittaker. Intended for O'Connor. He was onside, but the ball went beyond him. Gary O'Connor, who was in the Scotland squad 2 years ago, I think he admits himself that fame came a bit quickly for him as a teenager. He's now relaunching his Hibs career at the age of 20.
It's incredible, isn't it? We mentioned O'Connor not having much of a contribution today. I think you put that as much down to the Hearts defender as anything else.
Just about 84 minutes played. Hibs 1, Hearts 1. 50-50 in terms of possession at the moment. It's all about what you do with it. Derek Riordan, a first-half goal scorer for Hibs. Stephen Presley equalising a minute into the second half. Free kick given against Andy Webster for his challenge on Tam McManus. Can these two be separated in the closing minutes? Dumby with the free kick. And Stephen Whittaker unable to get on the end of it. Another youngster on the pitch, Whittaker, just 19. Scott Brown 18, Kevin Thompson 19, Eric Riordan who went off 21, Gary O'Connor 20. Gary Caldwell only 21, so it's a young team.
All goes well, you know, for Hibs as the future goes. Very, very talented young players. I think you give Bobby Williamson lots of credit for bonding them together. You get the experience of Murdoch as well. Daniel Anderson goal playing well for him, so there's lots of pluses for the Hibs fans.
It was Roland Edge getting his head to it. Nielsen's throw. Murdoch left it. It's almost bounced over the head of Daniel Anderson.
The goalkeeper almost got caught out, but if this goes in and doesn't touch, nobody touches the ball, it's not a goal anyway. There's got to be a touch on the ball, can't score direct from the front.
So if you're a cool goalkeeper, you just leave it.
I don't think that would have been a good choice.
Colin Murdoch late on Graham Weir. Colin Murdoch booked already and straying very close to a second yellow card here, surely.
It's good refereeing though. It is a free kick, no question for that. It's a little bit late, a big bit late when you see it from there, but I don't think it deserves a yellow. I keep saying it, Michael Curry certainly done well today. He's been very, very sensible about the way he's handled this match.
Sensible maybe, Sandy, but I think we would agree that Scott Brown should have been sent off.
Yeah, that's maybe the one mistake, but you don't want to see red cards all over the place, too many yellow cards. It spoils the game. The players have got to take responsibility for that as well.
Presley with the free kick. And offside.
That's a wasted run from Hearts.
Gary Caldwell's in a hurry. Gary O'Connor. Good ball in and good defending from Patrick Kisnorbo. Took charge, took responsibility.
Good play from Hibs. Gary Caldwell again forcing down that right-hand side. O'Connor drifting wide and a decent ball in. Kisnorbo doesn't have a clue what the Hibs strikers are. He can't take the chance. It's a good clearing header.
Stephen Dobby's corner. It's a poor one. It fails to get beyond Kevin McKenna at the front post. And in the closing stages of an Edinburgh derby, you don't really want to waste a set-piece opportunity like that. We saw Hearts wasting a free kick. Hibs there wasted the corner. Dobby's shot. Well off target.
Worth having a go though from Dobby. Poor corner kick a minute or so ago. More pace in that ball. But well off target.
Murdoch's header. Presley. De Vries. And out. At the moment, 3 minutes to be added, so just about 5 minutes left. Man of the match, Sandy?
Well, there's been a few contenders, Rob. Young Riordan with that goal, certainly in contention. But eventually, when I've thought about it, that man there, Stephen Presley, he's been immense at the back for Hearts today. I think he's more comfortable playing the three as Hearts have played today. But he's never put a foot wrong the whole game and scored that vital penalty under a lot of pressure. He's my back of Scotland man of the match.
Well, Mark De Vries has done a fair bit of complaining, but I don't think he can protest really about that decision. His push, Hibs free kick. Gary Caldwell. And there was jostling going on with the ball in the air. Hearts free kick.
Pushed out by Colin Murdoch.
We're heading towards a point apiece for these two in the final minute of regulation time at Easter Road. About 3 minutes beyond the 90. It's McKenna. And we certainly wouldn't be surprised if there's a late goal in this fixture. We've seen so many over the years.
I don't think any team really deserves to lose the game now, Rob. Both teams have given it everything they've got. Hearts starting well, Hibs going back into the game, scoring that opening goal. And a great reaction from Hearts to get the equaliser. It's been fairly even.
Stephen Presley with the free kick. Webster and McKenna both tried to get on the end of it. Alan Maybury over the top, beyond everyone, through to Daniel Anderson. His throw picks out Gary Caldwell. Gary O'Connor. Caldwell's cross charged down by Hartley. O'Connor trying to shield the ball. Wilby trying to fight it into the penalty box. Quickly closed down. McManus against Maybury. Hibs of a corner.
That's good play from McManus. Can't go anywhere. The best he can do is win a corner kick. And does well to win it.
And Hibs will utilise the left foot of Kevin Thompson for this corner. Fired in by Thompson. Very busy penalty box. Hearts get it away. Hartley to Weir. Turns inside Whittaker. Good pass as well to Robbie Nielsen. This could be Hearts' last chance to win the derby. No free kick for Nielsen. Now Hibs on the ball. Thompson through for O'Connor. And very alert goalkeeping from Craig Gordon, because O'Connor was onside.
That's good play from the young goalkeeper. He knows he's the last man. Stephen Presley caught out a little bit. But play the sweeper role, get to the ball first.
Less than 90 seconds left of the 90 minutes. McManus over Maybury's head for Doumbé, won't catch it. And clatters into the advertising boards. That just tells you something about how much this match means, even at this stage. He wasn't giving that up.
Tremendous commitment there from Maybury and Doumbé. Right in the last minute of this game, they're still giving it full tilt. I think the players deserve enormous credit today. They've all worked so hard. They're all very tired now.
But in the last minute of the match, another must-see Edinburgh derby, which has had a little bit of everything. Andy Webster had to defend that under pressure from Dobby, but Mike McCurry's whistle goes for a free kick a few seconds beforehand.
Gary O'Connor on Stephen Presley.
Agitation on the touchline as well as on the pitch. It's looking like a 1-1 draw. It is a 1-1 draw between Hibs and Hearts in the third derby of the season, and we've had everything now between these two this season. Hibs win in August, the Hearts win in November, and now a 1-1 draw. Stephen Presley equalised. The penalty was given 38 seconds into the second half. It was just the response Hearts were looking for from their team, having been overrun towards the end of the first half. Hearts had started so well. They looked the better side early on in the first 20 minutes. They had the pressure, they had the chances, none taken, and it was a moment of brilliance from Derek Riordan, which put Hibs in front. Curling, dipping shot from 25 yards. That gave Hibs the lead. Presley squared the game. Here's Derek Riordan.
Derek, what a goal it was the first half. We're kind of saying to ourselves, you'll never strike it from there, and you did.
Yeah, I just really hope for the best, just smacked it the hardest and lucky enough it went right in the top corner.
Very modest, but I mean, you've been doing that kind of thing in training on a regular basis?
Yeah, well, I try every time anyway. Just obviously it came off in the game, so I was delighted to do it, obviously against Hearts as well.
Yeah, we can have a look at it down there, actually. Tremendous strike. I mean, never any doubt what you had in your mind? Never thought of laying it off, anything like that?
No, I always shoot. I was pretty greedy at front of goal anyway, so I'll shoot every chance I can.
Wonderful strike that was, out in the corner, no chance for the goalkeeper. But tell me this, do you think you were worthy of a victory today?
It was probably a fair result in the end up. It was a bit of a harsh penalty as well, so but probably a fair result anyway in the draw.
Well, cue the man who stuck the penalty away with some style, Stephen Presley. Stephen, that was what do you think? First of all, the whole afternoon, was it worthy of a draw?
Very much so. You know, I thought Hibs scored very much against the run of play today. You know, they didn't carve out too many chances, and we were disappointed to go in at 1-0 down in the first half. But we showed great spirit and great courage, and I thought in the end we deserved a victory today.
Didn't take you long after half time to get the penalty kick. We can really look at the instant there, Stephen, when De Vries was brought down. No doubt in your mind?
No doubt in my mind. I thought the big chap did exceptionally well for us today. You know, he held the ball in superbly, and
that's how you take a penalty, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I'm delighted to score. You know, it was an important kick, and I'm delighted to score.
Just a word about the goal of the young man beside you. What a strike that was in the first half.
Yeah, he's certainly in a rich vein of form at the moment. You know, he's a terrific young talent, and a fantastic goal from him today.
Yeah, he had a great afternoon, great goal, but unfortunately for his point of view, he's got the champagne to give it to you, man, the match champagne.
That's great.
Well done to you, great performance, well done lads, thanks a lot, cheers.
Yes, well done indeed to both men. It finishes 1-1 in the Edinburgh Derby, and the man of the match winners are Gordon Peters from Kirkcaldy, Harry Alt from Edinburgh, and David Brown from Linlithgow, who all predicted that Stephen Presley would be the man of the match. So how does that leave the Bank of Scotland Premier League table? Well, that means that Hibs move into the top 6, a point clear of Motherwell and Dundee United, and Hearts move a point further ahead of Dunfermline in 3rd place. 5 bookings. I thought there could have been probably double that number. There should certainly have been a red card, I would have thought, perhaps, for young Scott Brown, Gordon. We said it was red-blooded, and it certainly was, wasn't it?
Hard-fought game, as they say, but I think the lucky thing probably today for some of the players was that obviously Mike McCurry never put his red card in his bag when he left for the game today. He's packed his yellow one, but and he was
we don't like to see
that.
sendings off, having said that,
No,
but there were a lot of flying tackles.
Yeah, even people who were on yellow cards had some dubious tackles after that. As you say, you don't want to spoil the game by people ordering off, but when you see a lot of orderings off from other games for more innocuous things, then you just wonder why they weren't given today. I know that he's maybe looking at Mike McCurry thinking it's a derby game, it's going to be hot-blooded, and you know, and so yeah, maybe that was what his thinking was in the whole affair.
Yeah. The one thing we'll remember more than anything else, I'm sure, Scott, though, is Derek Riordan's goal, which is just the likes of which you rarely see.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great talent, and I really like his attitude. He just gets stuck in. He's not thinking about anything else there apart from finding the net, and he struck it really well.
A long way out. There's about 4 or 5 players between him and the goalkeeper, but he couldn't have struck it any better, could he?
No. Gets to run a play too. Hearts were on top at that stage, and the more you think about the game, that was probably how Hibs were going to get a goal, was from distance. This is the penalty incident. I think that Murdoch just makes a mistake. He had a good game, Murdoch, today. Possibly one that could have had a second yellow card as well, but he makes a challenge there. He puts his knee across, and I think that's a definite penalty.
Yeah, and taken well. It's a pressure penalty than a derby game, and you wouldn't want anyone else but Big Presley there standing up and taking it for you.
And the nearest thing to a winning goal, this strike from Paul Hartley, almost as good as Riordan's, and it has to get in as a terrific save from Daniel Anderson.
Yeah, great save. I think he gets a fingertip to that, magnificent, and that's a good clearance as well, following up from, I think it was Caldwell to get in and get the ball away there, but certainly it was a terrific save. As I say, I thought the game was pretty even. It was 50-50 possession. It was about 25-25 in fouls, and I think that, you know, the overall, if anybody was going to score a winner, I think it was always going to be Hearts. I think that Hibs will probably be the happier team with the point.
Yeah, would you go along with that, Scott?
Well, I was quite disappointed with the way that Hearts reacted to getting the early goal in the second half. And I find it kind of strange that Hearts' top scorer, Kirk, is sitting on the bench there with 12 goals to his name this season, and he's not came in the game at all. I find that a bit strange, but I think all in all it was a 50-50 game, and I think.
And it's interesting what you say as well about perhaps not bringing Kirk on. Big De Vries, who, as Elvis Presley said, does a great job, but he still hasn't scored once since the end of October.
No, and I think Kirk will be sitting there thinking, why am I not coming on in a game like this? 12 goals, and I think he'll fancy chances in a kind of derby game. But De Vries just didn't really have that extra bit of form today. He just didn't have it.
1-1 it finishes. Good game though, full of incidents and a stunning goal to remember. Before we leave you, let's bring you up to date with the FA Cup latest. 2 full times in fact. Arsenal beating Chelsea by 2-1 earlier on this afternoon. 4th year in a row they've knocked Chelsea out of the FA Cup. Sheffield United have beaten Colchester of the 2nd Division by 1-0. Paul Pescasolido after 61, and it's half-time at Anfield. Liverpool 1-0 up in Portsmouth on Michael Owen goal after just 2 minutes. We're back on Wednesday night, the friendly international from the Millennium Stadium. Wales against Scotland. That's at 7:35 on BBC Two. From Scott, from Gordon, and from me, bye for now.